Alright, welcome to the second King of the Castle. I am Cool Dude, joined by Ips.
What's up, everyone?
And our first set of the day is going to be Mictlan Heros versus Cheezits gang. Cheezits being Cheezits Mafia plus Pika, pretty much. And Cheezits being a team me and Ips are very familiar with.
Yeah, for sure.
Being a player, the coach, and Mictlan Heros recently have been rising up the rankings, actually. Not too long ago in WTP playoffs, taking down Squidding Good 3-1, which is a huge accomplishment for their roster. And the first map mode that we're going to be seeing is Zones Antro. So, Ips, how do you think these teams will fare on this one?
Well, Cheezits Mafia, unless they're putting Spore on Junior again, like we've seen before whenever I'm not there, but they're probably going to be going with a Brush Slosher, Bamboo, and whatever Pika decides to go, since we of course know Pika, kind of a connoisseur of many different weapons. Meanwhile, on the side of Mictlan Heros, I don't honestly know like a lot of their comps complete. I do know Cass their support, and Fear and I think Dafters are back, and Fear and Lex are their slayers. I know Lex, I think, recently hit 27 or 2800.
Yeah, 20... I believe, yeah, 2800 with K52, I think.
Yeah,
so.
One of the highest powers, I think, in Latin America. So definitely a great accomplishment. And yeah, I think here the main thing is going to be when those teams get those first controls. Once you get control of those fans, that'll be pretty big, because if you can get pushed into the enemy's straight and just get a bunch of paint there, get control, and like set up to lock out. You know, the real only option the enemy team has is to maybe go to office, and if you can get that as well by pushing in, because like I mean, the main thing on this map is getting the enemy's office on lockouts, because that is huge.
Yeah, I think both of these teams will definitely want to play really aggressive, so lockouts will be a big part of this game to see who can just get those big leads. And as you say, the blob lobber coming out from Pika are actually something that I'm excited to see how it plays out. And actually, yeah, no backline and a very aggressive comp coming out from Mictlan Heros as well.
It seems pretty much coming out with no back, although, as you said, we do have the blobber from Pika, so it does seem like the comp from Cheezits is a bit more defensive and more passive than compared to the comp coming from Mictlan, with having not 52 zap and Slosh. Probably looking to maybe just overwhelm Cheezits here, because they do take damage down already, and Sports up on the left side trying to make something happen, but Takmak is going to go down as well, and yeah, it's already pretty much a wipe on the side of Cheezits, Cool Dude, as Mictlan Heros is going to get the first control of this game.
Yeah, Cheezits gets the initial cap of the zone, but they get punished for overextending just a bit too far, and Mictlan Heros capitalize off of that really well, and now Cass has the arm, and they also have the burst rush on the side of Mictlan Heros for the defense. Cheezits looking to come back in here. Cass pops the armor, is actually pushing up quite far, as Cheezits now popping their specials as well, but Samage goes down, and it looks like Mictlan Heros, they're below 50 already, and they're looking to get a really good push here.
Yeah, right now, just Mictlan Heros just holding this fan and zone, and we're trying to get the ball on the right side, and talking about Samage on this fan are trying to paint, but we're going to have a bomb thrown at them, and right now they're really struggling as Sport does get one paint, but goes down himself. Missiles do come out for Cheezits here, and if they don't get zone soon, they're going to be losing this game, but they do get it just in time. And Cool Dude just still, though, Mictlan Heros has a lot of control here, and it really looks like Cheezits can't get it back right now.
Yeah, Pika using this bomb rush, he's one of the only members still left alive, and he actually manages to stall out the zone for a bit, just waiting for his teammates on Cheezits to get back. The Spore is down already, and now they have to wait even longer. It gives them some time to build up their specials, so Mictlan Heros are not going to wait at all. Lex just pushing in so far, he can't find anything, but he manages to stay alive, and that allows two other members from Mictlan Heros, and now Mictlan Heros have so much presence on Cheezits flat, and they just have so much control. Savage goes down to a bomb, and Mictlan Heros could get the knockout right here.
Yeah, it really seems like they just right now, Mictlan Heros just has so much control of the street, they have so much control of pretty much most of the map. Finally dropping down here is going to get taken out by Dafter, though, and that is going to be game one, going to Mictlan Heros, unless... nah. Dafter.
Actually, I didn't realize, but when I did say Sport went down earlier, I believe he did DC, but Mictlan Heros were way past the 50 mark,
yeah,
so
for sure.
They won't be getting a replay on that. unfortunate for them because there was a slim chance that they could have taken that game, but before the DC anyway, Mictlan Heros having a really decisive game 1.
Yeah, for sure. We really saw there Mictlan just got control and were able to hold that streak, like I said. And, you know, whenever anyone from Cheezits was trying to push up and take control themselves, they just couldn't. Like, they were pretty much going down to Lex or Dafter just pushing up and getting picks that they needed, you know. Like I said, this comp from Mictlan is just really, really aggressive. And maybe the defensive comp from Cheezits is not going to be what's going to counter that because they're really seeming to get overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, on the side of Cheezits, it kind of looked like someone would try to start a push, but then they'd just go down. And then Cheezits, it always seemed like they were in a 3v4 whenever they were trying to retake the zone. And then Mictlan, because of the amount of map control they always had just more specials as well. So it seemed like everything in that game was in favor of Mictlan, and going into Rainmaker Humpback, Cheezits are going to need to change something up, whether it's playstyle or comp or...
Yeah, for sure. Mictlan definitely going to stay with the same way they just went. There really is no reason for them to change, although we might see a bit of changes coming from the side of Cheezits. I do know Spore does play Sploosh on Rainmaker, so we might be seeing that come out. Maybe a different Slosher, you know, maybe different Bamboo. Just they've got to find a comp that is going to be able just to basically kind of, you know, suppress the hyper-aggressiveness coming from Mictlan Heros, or at least shut them down, or be able to output some sort of similar pressure. Because if they just sit back and try to play defensive and stall, you know, Mictlan is not going to be patient. They're just going to get one special and just go in and pick you off.
But also with Cheezits, they need to, if they are going to push in a lot, they need to push together, because I said it before, but a lot of the time they couldn't get control of the zone because they were just getting picked off individually, because Mictlan Heros, either it was just Lex winning a 1v1, or they were always putting themselves in a 2v1 situation against Cheezits, which just won them so many fights. But now going into the game, we do see C-Jet coming out from Kenshin on Rainmaker, obviously, for that race round. And a pretty similar comp coming out from Mictlan as well.
Yeah. We do see Cheez going to get popped there pretty easily. They do have a full bobber in his boost, of course, so...
Quad object.
And, yeah, quad object shredder. But right now, Dafter on the Slosher is going to be trying to stay on mid, maybe looking for a pick soon. Missiles do get put on him, though, and already went down on the side of Mictlan Heros, so now it's an opportunity for Cheezits to start pushing here. Bomber's coming out from Pika, he's coming from Mictlan, though, going to go down, and this definitely could be snowballable here soon, as there's still one in mid, and Sport's going to go with this Rainmaker. He's going to get stopped by Lex, though, and already just completely different game coming from Cheezits, just putting a lot more pressure, as I said, though, too, than to go down.
Yeah, Cheezits getting 3 specials off in the first 30 seconds, getting them a push down to 46. Definitely not a safe lead, but it's something at least. Samage goes down, tried to get something with that shark, and now Darth just waiting to pop these missiles. The raid does come out from Kenshin to try and stall this push from mid. And Mictlan, it looks like they're trying to get something done, but Cheezits actually look like they're in a very good position to get back into mid. Spore gets a kill with the hammer, he gets traded out though. But Spore stalled for long enough for Cheezits to be able to move into this mid area, and they're getting even more kills now.
And now Pop going to come from Cheezits once again. They're going to be trying to push here. Missiles do come out from Samage. Lex with this wall is kind of pushed up. He might have to back though. And does go down to the Rainmaker. AJ is on the left side. I think focusing Spore on that flank. He's going to land though. He's going to go down. There's 2 down now on the side of Mictlan Heros. This might be a big push coming for Cheezits here. Still though not going just yet. Spore's going to go on that flank but get taken out. Finally, Rainmaker's going to go and get it down to 33 as pretty much all of Cheezits goes down and that push is over.
They do get a push down to 33, but this is definitely not a devastating push from Mictlan Heros. They know that they could come back from this, and I feel like the reason Cheezits couldn't get any further is because they weren't really getting those extremely impactful kills on their plat. And Mictlan, they're taking it to the left side, and they've already gotten the lead. They could get the knockout. What? That came out from nowhere. Mictlan Heros just running it on the left side. What just happened?
Cheezits sit up on the left side, and Mictlan just decided to bring the Rainmaker towards the flank and just rush it in to get that KO. And unfortunately, Cheezits not fast enough to go back and, you know, set up to defend that, and that was just a really smart play coming from Mictlan Heros there to, you know, see, all right, they're just really hard set up on the right side. Let's just push left. And they just did that so quickly that Cheezits had no chance to come back and defend that.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of teams don't have, just no hesitation from the side of Mictlan. And then since it is best of 3 instead of playoff 3, that is it for that set. My goodness. Both of those games not ending it the way that I expected it to. That, I'm speechless. Like, what a game.
Yeah, Mictlan's showing that they are definitely rising through the ranks right now. You know, with that first game, there was the fortunate DC with Spore, but even then, most of the game, they did have really good control, and they were just pushing up onto that street, putting so much pressure onto Cheezits. And then in that second game, we just saw they did get pushed, and it did seem like Cheezits' game for the beginning, but they just saw one opportunity to come in and make it like pretty much an upset play, and that's what they did. They just flanked and got the KO.
Yeah, on Rainmaker, there are these like extremely small windows of opportunity to get pushes off like that, and that's why you don't see it that often. But Mictlan Heros just managing to do so many crazy things in that set. But I believe we will be taking a short break, but with round 2 we will be seeing Wave versus Frog Group, if I'm not mistaken. So I will see you in a bit. welcome back to Kingdom Castle. We are now doing round 2 of the group stage, Wave versus Frog, and the first map will be Splatoon's Inkling between these two teams. And their records being 1-0 and 0-1 right now, so Wave, I believe, looking to fight to make top cut here. They have to go lossless, obviously, and unless there's a tiebreaker, and they have another very strong team in their group, so I'm very excited to see how this set goes.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at these rosters, on the side of Wave, seems like a new team in the making with Eric, Houston, RJ, and Toon. Meanwhile, on the side of Frog, we have Turtle, I believe that is Mr. Z, Sora, and Vortex. And both these teams, I've heard a lot of things about Mr. Z. I've heard from people that he has gotten really, really good lately. So this is definitely the time to prove it here on stream. And on the side of Wave, I've heard of these players before, pretty decently notable European players. You Snipe, RJ, and Toon, and Eric, I believe, is a player I used to play back then as well. So, all pretty notable players playing here right now.
And now we will be going into map 1 on Zone Zinc Plot. And I'm interested to see what comps will be coming out from both teams. I believe Wave being very flexible, and probably a Charger coming out from Dr. J, if I'm not yet. Charger coming out. And we actually see the orange Zap coming out from Tomb, which could probably be quite good on this map, actually, with the pressure from missiles. And we do see a 10 coming out from the side of Frog.
Yeah, so seems like kind of double supportive comp coming out from Wave here with that, zapping and spam missiles and that armor spamming Junior, and having the T-Tech as well. On the side of Frog, we see pretty much just usual 10 machine Neo Splash comes, something we've seen pretty often lately. Splash being a lot more popular, and we already see the Splash going down. Side maybe looking for a pick here on Sora, but Sora, though, getting a nice pick onto the side there, is going to go down to 2, though, which is very unfortunate. But
yeah, we just see a lot of kills coming out from both sides. Turtle managing to take down Toon there, and we just Frog able to get the initial hold of the zone. They have Bubbles and Bomb Rush ready for this retake attempt to come out from Wave, and Wave now have 3 specials. Definitely want to combo that Armor and Inkjet. And we should see that happening soon. Yeah, there's Bomb Rush coming out from Dr. J, the Inkjet and the Armor as well. And actually 2 down on the side of, 2 go down on the side of Frog before they can get either of their specials out. So they will keep that for their next push, but almost just giving the zone to Wave there.
Yeah, it was the play to give this on the Wave, but at the same time, the Charger does go down, so they will use that Bomb Rush that they had, and now they do have a few specials to the ready, but one of those is a Splash now, which isn't the most useful, and as I said, the machine goes down, so I believe the Charger, and Turtle now trying to set up on this plat, but it's going to struggle here. It's just getting spammed out. Vortex on that flank, waiting to make something happen. It's about to pop his Bomb Rush missiles. Do come out for the side of Wave. Charger's looking at that flank, and is not going to let them drop. Mr. Z here, maybe going to look for a pick himself, but is maybe not able to find one. Right now, Cool Dude, specials just came out, and it really seems like Frog hasn't not done much of them.
Yeah, just their pushes and dropping down, not really synchronized, but now it looks like they have a chance to try and get the zone. Sora goes down to U-Snipe, and U-Snipe gets traded out. The Vortex gets killed as well, and there's only 10 points left, but Frog managed to capture the zone and keep their game alive for now. But Wave in a pretty decent position to get the zone back as soon as the Junior respawns. They have no specials, but Frog only having the Bubbles on their side, and just both teams just really scrappy fights around the zone right now.
Yeah, you see that there's not too many kills. This team just pretty much trading each other. Oh, there is 3 specials ready on the side of Wave as they do pop the Ancient Armor and the missiles, and I believe the Bomb Rush as well. They are going all in with this. They don't get the zone here. That is going to be a really big waste. As they have pretty much one go down both on each side, and now with this situation, Yusu's going to go down as well, and it's a huge opportunity for Frog here, but they do get to pick on the charge. Now 2v2 situation with someone jumping in. Right now, just Wave trying to paint this zone. They might be able to get here as they do pop armor and missiles again, and they will get the zone, as Sohir's going to have to be careful. He's going to get rushed.
Yeah, and the reason that retake took so long is because Wave used all 4 of their specials, but they had to turn their attention to Turtle on their plat. He was just stalling for so long and wasted a couple of their specials, which allowed Frog to get to 13, but that won't be enough to take the lead. And now Frog having 2 bomb rushes, wanting to get back in there. Almost had the splashdown as well, but Sora gets taken down to a bomb. Vortex pops a bomb rush, and it's going to look very difficult for Frog to take this zone. They can't really find the picks. They're not in a position to. Vortex going in, trying to get Toon. They do get Toon. And now watching the Charger as they use the bomb rush, and the time is ticking for Wave, and it looks like they could get the knockout here. There's no one really there for Frog, and that is the knockout in Game 1 for Wave.
Really good play at the end there coming from Wave. You know, they saw that Frog was using 2 of their bomb rush to just paint it. Because Frog, when they used bomb rush, they didn't push in with it. They just used it for the sake of painting the zone. And as long as Wave outpainted it, that's 2 wasted specials. And now you have a lot more control and flexibility to do things around the map.
Well, I saw that game as Wave were really good at punishing Frog's staggered pushes. Because that's what it felt like to me, at least. A lot of the time, I kind of said the similar thing in the Cheezits set as well. But a lot of the time, Frog would have specials and they think, okay, we can go in now, but one player just goes in just a bit earlier than the rest of their teammates, and that means that they're in a 3v4 situation when they don't even have any paint on the zone, and they just have to use specials and hope they get a pick from that, which they didn't really get picks from that, and then they couldn't, they weren't in positions to get kills with their main weapon. So going into Clamblitz Wahoo, this is going to be very interesting for me, as I think map control will be very important here for both sides.
For sure. I think the biggest thing about this map is for pushes, you know, there is a timer right next to the bridge where, you know, the bridge comes out, and, you know, both teams should be actually trying to take a look at that, because if they can basically time when that bridge goes out with their specials and, you know, with their pushes, they'll be able to instantly go through that bridge and get a, you know, really easy push if they can get the picks and use their specials properly. Because pushing on this map without the bridge on that, you know, left side is really, really difficult, because you can easily bomb there, you can easily just shoot at there. It's really hard to just kind of force something through them. Meanwhile, bridge, you have a height advantage. You can put pressure on top right, you can put pressure on bottom left. It's so much easier to push through that area when you time it correctly.
But I think one thing that is good for Frog going into this game is Turtle being on that 10th. Clams Wahoo and just Clams in general is known as a very good mode for 10 players. Definitely better than Zone Zigblot, so that could be an advantage for them going into this game. But we do see a couple changes coming out from the side of Wave, actually, Toon on that 52. And we do see the 10 come out from Turtle.
So 52 actually coming out for both sides. Other than that, I'm pretty much staying the same. We do see a Ray Charger, though, coming out from the side of the Frog, which some of you don't see too often anymore. You know, Firefang usually is more the better option nowadays. And now we already see Usnap trying to maybe push mid and get something to cheeky, but as Junior does go down, though, Zero gonna go into mid, and honestly, all the mid control coolers are already in the side of Frog here.
Yeah, 2 early specials came out from Wave, but it didn't really get much. Frog getting early mid control, as you said, and now 2 from the side of Frog on the left side, just looking to get something done, but they know they can't really push up too far yet, and now Toon going into mid, gets 1 kill, looking for more pops, her Booyah bomb, and 2 down on the side of Frog now, and Wave, they have Clams and they have a bomb rush, they actually could get a decent push started.
Yeah, we see so many walls around this mid right now. You know, Darky does get a pick though, and already, like I said, they were able to get past that push they needed to. They can't back up from this though, and they're gonna have to make a push here if they want to stay alive. They are using the missiles, and they are putting like a lot of pressure here, but they don't really have the clamps. And you know, they're gonna go 3 down here, and they pushed in, but did not have the objective to actually score any points.
Yeah, just they had a few climbs, but just the special timing wasn't really there, and they weren't able to capitalize on the picks they got. And now Frog looking to start a push of their own, and there is a trade between the 2 gals. And now Turtle having a hammer and getting weak to the K-shot, but doesn't go down yet. And there's actually a trade between both of them, but now it's a 3v2 in favor of Frog. Kind of just a stalemate in mid. They're just holding this control. They don't want to make the mistake of pushing in too early and then getting punished for it. So 2 minutes in, no one scored yet, but that could change very soon.
Yeah, they are trying to go in right now. Is that the bridge is going back in. They do get one power plant in. They might be able to get two, but a snipe gun for Dr. J is going to take out that power plant. But they don't go for the pickup there, which they could if they can get in here soon. It's about to despawn. They're not going to go for it as the Grandmaster does come back up. And a push only to 80 with one power plant, that is definitely not enough on this map, Ruby.
Yeah, they definitely wanted more from that, but I was gonna say it's fine because they still hold mid control, but Wave, U-Snipe and Toon just pushing into mid, U-Snipe gets one, and now they've just claimed mid control by getting one kill just like that, but Mr. Z bouncing back, getting a kill onto the K-Shot, now popping the Stingray to pressure the enemy charger, allow their team to get this mid control back. And now they have 13 climbs of their own, but Dr. J, I believe, with a collateral. And now it's 3 down on the side of Frog. And Wave just bounced right back, and they could definitely take the lead here if they get enough climbs.
Yeah, they got twice the time to Ray. This is definitely an opportunity for them to take lead. Two, they're going to push in, they're going to get the pick on Sora. 2 down right now on the side of Frog. They have to go in here. This is the opportunity they have. They get 2 powers, and that's a wipe. Now on the side of Frog, and they're going to be able to get major clams here. As these are going to go back to grab some more. Going to get that down below 30, I believe. But they're going to have to get some more picks when they keep this going. As the machine does
make a knockout.
The knockout. They do.
My god. Dr. J opening up that opportunity for Wave, getting those 2 kills in mid. And then them just snowballing off of that, getting the wipe. And getting the KO in the second game. And I believe that was 2-0 for Wave, right?
Yeah, it's 2-0 for Wave, and honestly, from that game, what I noticed that both Chargers were doing a lot of work for their teams. You know, Dodger with that collateral, but right before that, the raids that were coming from Mr. Z were actually really, really helpful for Frog. Help them secure some picks on people holding power plants, just on the supports to maybe, just stop the armor or any other special spam. But even then, just Wave being able to coordinate better and get in. And, for example, one time just U-Snipe and Toon pushed in, even though Toon went down, like, U-Snipe was able to get a pick, and that helped just, the rest of Wave push in as well. And then, as you said, just a Dr. J collateral, that was huge and opened a massive opportunity for Wave to win that game.
Yeah, it looked like a stalemate for a very long time, but as soon as Wave saw that opportunity, they went for it, and they got rewarded for it with 100-0 push. You don't see that too often in climbs. But again, we will be going to a short break before round 3. Let me see. Hopefully we'll be seeing Xerecess Racing versus Booyah Gang. So we'll be back for that. Alright, we are going into round 3 of groups. Xerecess Racing versus Booyah Gang. This will be the final round of groups. And yeah, we'll be starting on Zones Mako. So Ips, what do you think of what these players will be running and what the winning position will be?
Well, Xerecess Racing's comp is pretty standard. I know what to expect with all the players going to play. Silva, I believe is a H3 player. Kofer is a Tent. Jay is a Charger, and Xerecess plays like Splash and Caper. Meanwhile, on the set of Booyah Gang, I don't necessarily know what they run. I think Boyo is a Slosher player and maybe is a Junior. But other than that, I don't really know what the other two are going to be running. But I think the winning position for this map, once you get control, you have to be ready to kind of take control of that. You have to be able to watch that left drop, and also make sure to watch right side as well, because pushing out with specials on this map is not too difficult. Defending them is a lot harder, and when you have to defend on this map against specials, maybe like bubbles or stuff that can insta-cap the zone pretty easily, you definitely need to be a bit careful. And on that left drop, you want to be able to push that and put pressure, but you also need to be careful of not getting dropped on by any of the weapons that are going to be on that left side. And with the right side, you don't want to overextend there, because if you overextend right and the enemy team just goes left, you will basically be left there alone, not really contributing much. So it's going to be basically which team can get control and then be able to pretty much lock out by putting pressure on that left side, on the left drop, without going down to stray bombs or a stray shot from anyone.
Yeah. It's an important balance between saying we have control of this area and overextending. But also, so the viewers know, the Japanese name is Xerecess, and the name started with a P that I'm not going to try to pronounce is J. So.
And going into these comps, we see on the side of Xerecess Racing, pretty standard stuff I expected, except I do see Xerecess on that full squeezer, and on the side of Booyah Gang, we see a Neo Splash coming from Eddie, Yacht on that Zap, and a custom Jet Vulture also coming out for them. So very two different comps here coming out a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're seeing quite a bit of range come out from Xerecess Racing, but on the side of Booyah Gang, I think both of these teams are going to be seeing a lot of specials and also a lot of kills. 3 down on the side of Xerecess Racing, and Booyah Gang have initial control of the zone. Kofa dropping down a bit early, I think he's on his own. But he's not really going to get punished for that. Leon just looking to try and take down Kofa, but he won't find anything yet. And now trying to build the Stingray. The armor does come out from Booyah Gang. And now probably going to see some more specials coming out from both teams as they try to fight for the zone.
Yeah, Raiders come out from the side of Booyah Gang, but with 2 teammates down, it won't be able to do much. But actually just get the pick on that hammer though. But I think Zone will shift here onto the side of Xerecess Racing, as they're going to be trying to get back in here. And so far, the pressure coming from Booyah Gang has been pretty good until that overextension from Yada, and now they're going to find a way to get back in themselves. They do pop armor here, and they do get the pick on Xerecess, and then also Kofer's going to go down, and it already seems like Booyah Gang is going to get right back into control here.
Yeah, 3 very nice kills coming out from the side of Booyah Gang, just getting control of the zone without even having to use that many specials. And now they have 2 bomb rushes to extend this lockout, and now we're seeing, I'd say, a bit too much presence from them on the right side. Xerecess Racing will definitely look to go on the left, but as I say that, Kofa goes down, and now Silva is in a very bad position against Medi, and Medi manages to get the kill. And they just keep on extending this push, and it looks so hard for Xerecess Racing to get back in. The bubbles come out, they take down the Stingray, and they finally manage to get the zone and apply some penalty points onto Booyah Gang.
Yeah, right now Xerecess Racing needs to put on their own kind of pressure onto the side of Booyah Gang. As I said, though, they do end up trading kills here, and they are able to get another pick here, and finally, Xerecess Racing in man advantage, pretty much I think for the first time this game, and now getting control. They also get the C-Jet pick, and this is huge now for Xerecess Racing.
Yeah, Xerecess Racing, they get those picks, but more importantly, they have 2 specials as well. They use the bomb rush and they're about to get the armor. Kofa looked like he was going to stay alive for so long, but it looks like Xerecess Racing will get the lead here. They do. And now Booyah Gang, they have 2 specials, but they only have 2 members alive. They're going to have to wait for their teammates to respawn. As the Zap goes down, they'll have no armor for this retake. It's only the Burst Rush. Flodio manages to get the kill onto Kofa, and that's actually enough. It's only Jay on the side of Xerecess Racing, and in a miracle, Booyah Gang managed to get the zone back, but amazing shots from Jay will just flip control right back into Xerecess Racing's hands. Oh my god.
Actual bait coming there from Jay, able to bait two people into the shots, and now to be on the left side here for Booyah Gang getting stuck under the 10 shield. Is going to get crushed, and Kofor now going to push this last guy with his teammates and get a bunch of picks, and everything. Oh, double coming from Medigo. Triple, no, not triple. Xerecess able to get that pick there, and now just a lot of picks happening there, cool dude, but at the beginning of this game, we saw that Booyah Gang has so much control, and now it really seems like, you know, Xerecess Racing is just woken up.
This game has just been... it's just a lot of mechanical skill. Like, if you win the fight, you probably get control of an area. And now we're seeing 2 down on the side of Xerecess Racing. Kofa popping the hammer, looking to get control, and he gets 2 kills from it. Heath goes down, but now there's a numbers advantage on the side of Xerecess Racing, and they can't really capitalize off of it yet. Sloshy getting a trade onto the charger, but now Xerecess Racing getting control back of the zone, and they have the lead with 50 seconds remaining, and it looks like another team fight is going to come out here.
Yeah, Meteor on this left stack is going to maybe look to help his team cap the zone, but CJ does go down, and he's being watched by a lot of people on the side of Xerecess Racing. He is going to go down to that charger. Sloshy now last one left on the side of Booyah Gang, going to pop Burst Rush, and it's 3v1 is going to get taken out. And now Xerecess Racing maybe looking to finish up this game with a big lockout here, but Xerecess does go down, so Booyah Gang still has a chance with that raid coming out as well, cool dude. And this is the final opportunity now for Booyah Gang.
Yeah, we're seeing the bomb rush come out from Medi, and it does manage to hold the zone, but with 15 seconds left, they will have to get the lead in overtime, and Kofa with the hammer. Very dangerous, but he can't find anything yet. And now, Xerecess Racing are 2 down, and... sorry, Xerecess Racing get back control of the zone, and they manage to hold it in a very close game. They take game 1.
That was just a game just showing so much mechanical skill and pretty much a lot of clutch plays coming from both teams. You know that double with the hammer from Kofor, double coming from Medi right after. You had a really nice charger double coming from Jay, who's going to drop a 16 bomb here on charger. And you know, that game was definitely close, but Booyah Gang has to definitely fix a couple of things, cool dude.
Yeah, these are the types of sets that you want to watch. Like, these are all the flashy plays, like, just coming out from both sides, and one player can just change the tides of a whole game. But what we saw a lot, even though there are a lot of high amount of kills, I think Booyah Gang, a lot of the time, they got zone off of one of their players winning a 1v2 or doing something crazy like that, which isn't really reliable, which is why I think Xerecess Racing were just able to get more points, and it seemed that every time Booyah Gang got the zone, they'd flip it right back in their control, which is just patient play coming out from them. So I think on tower control Manta though, we can definitely see some very deep pushes here.
Yeah, we might see a comp change coming from both teams unless Xerecess Racing is going to decide to stay with the Bomb Rush Charger and Bubble Squeezer, which wouldn't even be that bad of a play. Although I do believe Kofor does not enjoy 10s on tower control, so we might be seeing a switch coming from him on this map mode here. Meanwhile, on the side of Booyah Gang, not sure what they would decide to change to, but maybe something to displace Jay might be a major factor, because sometimes they were able to kill Jay because he was in some tough situations, so they could put him in more tough situations. That might be their key here to pretty much take out one of their players completely for most of the game.
Yeah, I don't think Lionel is going back to that C-Jam, so if they do go to another backline weapon, I think if you're going to play Heavy Remix, this is the map mode to do it on. But we'll see if that comes up here. Actually opting to go to the Bamboo, a very nice choice on this map as well. And we're actually seeing a lot more range come out from the side of Booyah Gang with it opting to switch to the 96 gun.
So pretty much the coming out from Xerecess Racing, except for the rage charge, yeah, like, a lot more range coming out from Booyah Gang, and honestly, a lot of damage. A lot of these weapons can hit one shot and then pretty much combo off each other like no problem. And we already see here, just they do able to get one pick on that tangent, but the pro's going to go down as well. Bamboo's going to go down as well for Booyah Gang. Floyd will try to maybe find some picks here, but two of his teammates do go down, and he's going to now opt to Shark as maybe trying to make a play still in this street, but he's going to have to back up again, and Cool already Xerecess Racing putting some pre-game control here.
They have to capitalize off the Slosher's positioning as he gets one kill on the flank and he's looking for a second, but they have no pain in mid, and Booyah Gang are wiped. Xerecess Racing, they're going to get past this second checkpoint. Maybe looking to get back on the top right, but the Stingray from Jay is just going to deny that. And they're looking to even maybe get past this third checkpoint here, already down to 30. This is a really devastating push for them, but they're still going.
Yeah, these bubbles from Kof are going to be huge for getting this checkpoint. He's basically shielded from the enemy team. I should say that though. Someone from Booyah Gang able to get a nice angle. I believe Yata getting through there to stop that push, but down to 16. Even with 3 minutes, 35 seconds left here in this game, that is definitely a tough start for Booyah Gang. As they are able to get a pick, though, onto Xerecess, so that's definitely a good start. Yeah,
with how these teams have been playing these games, Booyah Gang could definitely bounce right back, since if one of your players, or a couple of your players, just die too fast, that can lead into a very heavy snowball, as we've seen Xerecess Racing just do. But now Booyah Gang, with a burst rush, just not pushing in just yet, as it look like they will now as they pop the armor. They're looking to get some kills, but the armor also coming out from the side of Xerecess Racing. And we're just seeing a lot of specials, but not too many kills yet. And as I say that, 2 down on the side of Booyah Gang. It might be 3 down now, but Medi gets a very nice kill, and he's still alive. But he gets taken down by Xerecess in the end. Now they're just holding mid control, and they're not really pushing the tower because they don't have to. They have a 16-point lead, but they're just going to hold and build up some specials.
Yeah, they are going to maybe try to this tower bit into the enemy side, though, but, they're just keeping control of mid. They're keeping control of their bunker. They're keeping control of right and left. There really is no way right now for Booyah Gang to get in. If they go for one person, you have, for example, Jay just watching over them, and, as I say that, though, they are able to double team the Haitian on the right side, but, Jay just going to get a pick on that 96, maybe get another one here soon enough, as he does have a bit of an angle on this person, but he's deciding to jump out instead with that Ray, and maybe now Booyah Gang is going to try to get more control in mid with that pick on Kofor as well, but they're still struggling here as it is a 3-3 situation.
Jay has been really good at spacing himself out from the players on the side of Booyah Gang. Like, there'll just be someone chasing him, but he's always out of range, so he just has the time to hit the shot. And Medi, very weak, trying to stay alive, but now on this flank, maybe looking to take down Jay. They don't see anyone yet. The armor comes out, and they're going to drop down now, and they get 1 kill, but they can't get the second. Their team isn't there to help them, and now it looks like Yata's the only one here with presence, and they're looking to take down Xerecess, but Xerecess gets the kill into Yata, and again, just Xerecess Racing are just winning all of the engagements so far, and they just get specials from it every single time, because Booyah Gang are dying so much that they can't really get their Booyah bombs or missiles or armors that they need to get this control in mid.
Yeah, sure, and again, just Xerecess is waiting for those bubbles. They even have Ray at the ready, which I think they've been saying for pretty much half this game, and here Xerecess gets so fast straight, just jumps out. And, right now they do give up mid, and that Ray does go down. This is actually pretty huge for Booyah Gang as they do get 2 down. And finally, a pushing opportunity coming from Booyah Gang as they're going to be trying to take control of this bunker here on this bamboo with missile at the Ray. They're going to missile 3 there, and this is actually a massive opportunity here for Booyah Gang, cool dude.
Yeah, for the first time in 4 minutes, they finally have mid control. They're looking to get something started, but they're 2 down already. 3 down, and now there's only the bamboo with 30 seconds left. Xerecess Racing, they're going to get mid control from this, and they're close to having the bubbles and the armor. It's looking very dangerous for Booyah Gang. They're going to need a hero play from someone to get something started, and that pick from Lionel could be the start of something as they get a second kill, and they may get the third onto Jay, but one last chance for Booyah Gang to stay in the series.
Yeah, right now, still Xerecess does have some control of their street and, their top left, and Booyah Gang gonna come out from Medi though, and unfortunately, 2 down on the side of Booyah Gang, just still trying to stay on that tower, but Actually, one pick up for Medi, maybe two. Two picks coming for Medi, and this is actually up to messaging for Booyah Gang, as if they get that champion, they might be able to get the lead right now. Ray trying to get charged by Jay here, but it might not be enough. It actually might be enough, and the clutch raid gonna come from Jay to get 2 picks on that tower, and Kofor just gonna get on right on time, and Xerecess Racing gonna take this set 2-0, but Booyah Gang definitely bringing a huge fight there at the end.
Yeah, that was looking so good for Booyah Gang in that last push with Xerecess Racing. They had it all planned out. They had Kofor jump from the mast in their spawn and just waited for the Stingray to come out from Jay, and they knew that would get them off the tower because that's all they needed to win that game. And my goodness, was it close. Even at times it would look dominant for either side, but just that style of gameplay is always fun to watch. It's just what you love to do.
Yeah, for sure. Just that coordination there at the end was really, really clutch. You know, Kofor just YOLO'd for the tower, and then Ray coming out from Jay basically got the 2 picks on the tower there. If they didn't have that Ray or Kofor didn't go for tower, there was still a chance we were going to win that game. But unfortunately, Booyah is going to lose this. But I do believe if they did beat the other team in their group, we will still be seeing them going to Top Cut. So their fight definitely is not over yet.
But speaking of Top Cut, we will be going to a break soon, but before that, I need to talk about Aquatic Cup 3, which they'll be hosting their 3rd tournament very soon with double elimination counter picks for all modes, including Turf War, which will be on April 10th at 8 PM EDT. It is targeted for NA, but obviously EU can still play. And you can find their Twitter at aquaticcup_SPL, where you'll also find their Discord where you can get more information there.
And I also got a tournament to talk about. We're going to talk about It's Dangerous to Go Alone, a Splatoon 2 free agent tournament that will be happening on April 10th at 3 PM EST. Sign-ups do close on April 7th. More information can be found at the link shown on the screen right now. It is a tournament for free agents to go in, play, get some competitive experience, maybe get the eyes of some, recruiting teams. So if you're in FA and need a tournament to get yourself out there, this is definitely something to enter. Again, April 10th, 3 PM EST.
Yeah, it's definitely a good place to start. Like, I started entering FA tourneys as well back in 2019, and they're definitely really fun. You get to meet some new people. So, yeah, definitely, if you are that target audience, you should enter that. But we will be going to a quick break before we start Top Cut, so don't go anywhere. welcome back to King of the Castle. We are now in Top Cup, going into the quarterfinals. Xerecess Racing against Deepdream, and now this is I'm expecting a very close set here. I think this is going to be very interesting. Deepdream also coming into the sub with SS Nolan, so not a downgrade player-wise, but maybe the synergy won't be there. So still, I think it'll be very exciting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Nolan is a capable player, so Kronos, the main player in Deepdream, does play these more ranged weapons to help out Isabel, but maybe the pro can pretty much fill that role, so it won't at all be a downgrade. I think maybe just only coordination rises. Of course, he's not on the team, so on and so forth. On the sides of Straits, we just saw them play. They show their stuff. Especially Jay on that charger, just doing a lot of good plays, team wise and mechanics wise, and it's definitely going to be fun to see them now go against Deepdream, which is a team that is pretty good. Has been is fairly new as well. But it's definitely proven they are a threat.
I think Deepdream, I believe they did get second in their group actually, which was pretty unexpected. I'm not sure who they lost to, but we will be going into game 1 on Zone's Wahoo, and I'm expecting to see a 10th come out here from Kofa, and then probably the other expected weapons that the players made as well.
And now, yes, so the same comp coming out pretty much from the sides of this race, except for a change on E-Leader. Meanwhile, on the side of Deepdream, we have those Tetris, H3 Pro, and Heavy. So definitely two varying comps. One comp has double bubble, probably for those insta-caps. More, I guess, of a Slayer comp. More oriented around kills coming from the side of Deepdream here. As well, pretty good go down, unfortunately.
If Jay does well on this E-Leader, this could be very difficult for Deepdream, as they don't really have any weapon that can really pressure him that much. As we see, a lot of kills coming out from both sides, and Deepdream are already 3 down. And now Xerecess Racing getting initial control of the zone. Isabel's the last one alive, and she's probably going to go down soon. She manages to stall for a bit, but she does end up dying. Now Nolan on this one side. There's literally 2 members of Xerecess Racing in Carousel, but Deepdream is going to look to get control back of the zone now.
Yeah, to come out from Zeus there, he's going to get taken out, as he did try to maybe cast up Booyah with the bubbles, but he was a bit too late on that. And now, with control going to Deepdream, Isabel is going to go down immediately to Silva here on this H3, who is going to push back home, but he's not going to pop armor. And, Xerecess Racing is already going to look to push back in. His H3 1-1 here between Nas and Silva. Really good winner, but Nas again, the burst there onto Silva, as Deepdream is actually going to get 2 picks here and keep control, as they might be able to get the lead here pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to get the lead here, and the only special on the side of Xerecess Racing right now is the Storm. They'll need more to be able to get back in, as Deepdream have 3 specials as well, and they're not playing too far up, so they're just going to wait for the specials to come out from Xerecess Racing, and they're going to counter it now using the counter armor and the Booyah bomb, which is going to force Kofa to back away, and the bubbles coming out from Xerecess, but they can't really get much done. Deepdream down to 10 points, and Xerecess Racing are wiped, and that's game 1 going to Deepdream.
Just amazing hold there coming from Deepdream when those bubbles and pretty much, Xerecess Racing try to drop in, use their specials, and that Booyah bomb and Isabel going in with it really just shut down that push pretty much completely, and the other Booyah bomb there from Nolan just pretty much cleaned up, and just really, really good defense coming from Deepdream, even though, from that rocky start, they came back and just definitely proved that they're going to be taking that first game.
Deepdream were just able to win their fights with pure mechanical skill to be able to get the zone, and then they had really good special coordination to be able to hold it. So instead of just pushing up even further and having to get the lead by getting more kills with a lockout push, they just what, we can sit back on the zone, get 3 specials, they only have 2, and we just win the game. So, but the second game will be going to and not really, we haven't really seen anything similar to this map mode yet. The only Rainmaker game we've seen on stream so far was that Humpback one, which was insane.
Interesting.
Yeah, but We have 7 people readied up, so I don't think there will be any changes here, apart from maybe Kofa going to the hammer
I think, you know, the comp that Deepdream has can definitely play a bit faster, you know, with those Tetris and that heavy than the comp from, you know, Xerecess Racing. Like any comp with 10 and a charger is bound to be slightly slower, but if Xerecess Racing gets set up with that hammer and, you know, you abuse it for pop, or in general just get into a position to abuse their angles and make a good push, they can definitely then defend, since their comp is slower and, you know, much better defending compared to the comp of Deepdream. But if Deepdream just overwhelms Xerecess Racing here again, then they are going to struggle really, really hard to get any pushes going, or even to defend, because if you let Tetra, especially one like Isabelle, just, you know, get into your spawn or get into your street and just wreak havoc, it is not going to be fun.
And as you said, Xerecess Racing's comp is quite slow, but as we saw in the set against Booyah Gang, they do like to play quite fast, and we do see Jay switching over to the Charger instead of the Elita and the CJ, coming out from Sakali for more Stingrays, obviously. And yeah, both teams just going to go into mid. It looks like both teams will go for the pop there at the beginning.
I believe the pop, though, is going to go to the side as Xerecess Race. They do have Quad Object Shredder. But, you know, this pick of CJ coming from Deepdream, it might be really good for them, as just race spam can actually counter a charger, can't output as much, and also just counter 10 in general, since it will go right through that shield. But you have to say that, though, Xerecess Race does have a good pick on Isabelle. Maybe able to push back to Colin and NASA here as well, as they do get NASA, and already Xerecess Racing getting the first control of the game here, and they're definitely going to make a push at, though Nolan getting a nice pick on that Rainmaker.
Yeah, in all of those fights, Jay didn't get any kills, but he was just applying so much pressure, and then the rest of Xerecess Racing could clean up, and now Silver in a 1v1 with Isabelle, and Isabelle manages to take it, and it looks like Deepdream could get mid-control as they do manage to take down Kofa. Now Xerecess Racing in a 2v3, they have the Stingray for defense, and it doesn't look like Deepdream will be able to get anything started. But yeah, they'll get the Stingray soon, but NASA goes down, Sakali gets taken down by the Stingray, and now Isabelle could die as well. She has to jump away, use a splashdown jump. They managed to get the kill up to Silver, just so many kills coming out in mid that no team has been able to get a push started yet.
Yeah, right now, Isabelle being a thorn on the side of Xerecess here, and, you know, basically, you know, just moving around here in this street, just annoying Kofa, and they do finally get the pick onto Isabelle, but imagine how much time was wasted there. You know, just Deepdream was able to kind of get back into mid, as I said, though NASA does go down, so they're going to be able to push instantly again, but the raid does come from Sakali, Booyah bomb as well from Nolan, and a push to 65 is not the most optimal here, but they are going to try to keep it going.
That stall from Isabelle was pretty good, but Deepdream weren't really able to hold mid-control from that. And now Xerecess Racing are looking to get a better lead here as they use the bubbles, maybe looking to get a kill with it. They can't find anything yet. Kofa goes down with the hammer, and now it looks like Deepdream will be able to push back, but it's a 3v2 in favor of Xerecess Racing. The Rainmaker resets, Sakali takes down Xerecess, and kind of just... It doesn't feel like a stalemate, but on the point side of things it is so far.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Xerecess and Squeeze doing a lot of work right now, getting a lot of picks for Xerecess Racing, and as said, though, two do go down on the side of Xerecess. Silva gonna jump out here, and maybe now a chance finally for Deepdream to get a push of their own going. As does grab this Rainmaker, and there is not much room to go through to get that lead, but they gotta be careful, so they definitely want a bigger one, as they do get the pick on Kofa, which is big, but it might go down to this Ray here. Sakali just trying to dodge it, and actually is gonna dodge it, cool dude, and this might be the opportunity now for Deepdream to get a big push here.
Yeah, I feel like Deepdream could have pushed up a bit earlier. Isabelle was in Xerecess Racing's office for about 20 seconds and managed to get a kill and stay alive that whole time, but they've only managed to get to 83 from that, and now SS Nolan goes down. Kofa's looking to get the Rainmaker, and he pops a hammer to do so. He gets 2, and now Deepdream are 3 down, and Xerecess Racing may finally get the opportunity that they need to snowball this mid-control.
Yeah, right now with 1 minute 30 seconds left, I think if one team snowballs here, it will be game, as there isn't too much time left to recover. And I think Xerecess Racing baited all of Deepdream on the right side, and they're just going to try go from this. Kofa going to power shield, but unfortunately a bit too late, as Jay is going on that Rainmaker, but that bait, they get him down to 49, which is something, and bubbles still coming out from that Xerecess here, but Xerecess is going to go down, he's not going to be able to pop those bubbles, and a push to 49, still a bit more, but might not be enough in the end, cool dude, if, you know, Deepdream gets some picks.
Now Isabel running into office manages to take down Gopher. And she isn't getting punished, she's looking to get the second kill as well, but now there's 2 down on the side of Deepdream. They're in a 2v4, they won't be able to get the pop here. Now NASA's the last one alive with 40 seconds. Xerecess Racing could literally just hold the Rainmaker and steal this game out. That was a jump in from Isabel that somehow stays alive, but then goes down to Silver. NASA will go down as well. And with 30 seconds left, Deepdream are 2 down. Xerecess Racing have mid-control and the lead, and they're in prime position to take this game.
Yeah, they are going to opt to push a bit though, as they do get taken out by the raid there comes to Sakali to trade. And this actually might have given another chance for Deepdream to get a push off, but they have to take out Kofa here. He's going to stay here, get one pick, and a grab the Rainmaker himself, and actually extend this lead down to 25. And if Deepdream gets this Rainmaker here, their job has just been made a lot harder. Now they got to get past 25.
It's going to be very difficult for Deepdream. The armor coming out early. Xerecess is on the shark though. He could take down the Rainmaker right here, but Nolan knows of it. And then he's forced to jump out, manages to stay alive though, but Jay has the Stingray. And Xerecess Racing will have to be ready to push in when he comes out from Jay. This Stingray could be huge. Now the Booyah bomb is going to come out from Nolan, maybe try to punish the Ray, but NASA manages to stay alive. They live through the Ray, and the push keeps on going, but Silver finds the opportunity to take down NASA, and Xerecess Racing bounce back and tie up the series 1-1.
Really good clutch there coming from Silva. He saw the winner opportunity. You know, there wasn't too many people, or there was basically no one around NASA on that Rainmaker, and he just went in and rushed and got the pick to end the game. If he didn't get that pick, it might have looked really, really bad for Xerecess Racing there, but, you know, close game pretty much the whole time, just a massive stalemate until finally Xerecess Racing kind of just broke through and, you know, just forced little small pushes to get down to 25 and just pretty much waste Deepdream's time until they really didn't have any time left to make the push of their own.
Yeah, it was a stalemate, but not because both teams were playing really passive, it's because both teams were playing so aggressive that they didn't give the other team any just chance to get something started. And whenever it looked good, they just managed to deny the map control that they had. But now, game 3, both of these teams will be looking to get the 2-1 lead here on tower control certain ships.
Yeah, this map definitely snowball heavy, like honestly one of the most snowball heavy maps in Splatoon. And, you know, if one team could just get a wipe at the beginning and then get control and just, you know, for example, you can get your charger on that spinner and then just have the rest of your team just kind of push up, you know, under the drops of the enemy. It's just really, really hard to get back in because that pressure from the charger on spinner, they can pretty much reach you anywhere and just, you know, and pushing up into the street of the enemy as well. You gotta get them out of there, or else no matter which side you go, they can just swim over and kill you. So I feel like the winning condition here is just to create a snowball and do not get snowballed.
Yeah, as you say that, snowballs will be very important on this map, and from what we've seen so far from Xerecess Racing, especially on tower control against Booyah Gang, they are good at snowballs. So this could be very dangerous for Deepdream, and they definitely will not want to go down 1-2, but now we see 3 players from Xerecess Racing pushing on this left side, and they punish Isabel for pushing in, and now Kofa will look to get another kill onto Nolan here. Nolan being forced to go into mid, and he goes down as well. And now Xerecess Racing with this mid control will try to get push started.
Instead though, Kofa's gonna go down in mid, probably with this push to pop, and actually it seems like the first control is gonna go to Deepdream. Maybe not complete snowball yet, but definitely a good start. Instead though, NASA does go down in mid to release Silva, and Jay gonna get a nice pick on Sakali there, and control goes straight back to the side of Xerecess Racing.
Yeah, it looks good for Deepdream, but Xerecess Racing just get 3 kills and they manage to bounce back. And this is what we talked about. Snowballs can be very dangerous, and the bubbles and the armor coming out from Xerecess Racing should start that right now. Kofa just playing patient in a very unique position. Xerecess, I believe, gets 2 kills, and now there's only 2 members on the side of Deepdream alive. Isabel manages to take down the tower just after they get the checkpoint, and that could end up stalling or ending the push, but definitely not what they wanted, but getting past the checkpoint is still good on this map.
Yeah, those picks from Isabel are really good. Gopher's pretty much stuck already, really pushed up on the side of Deepdream, is going to get taken out, while Isabel gets 2 in mid, and Nasty though, going to get taken out by Jay here. Really good snipe by him, and still, yeah, you know, Xerecess doesn't, you know, Isabel here coming in, trying to get a pick on Jay, might get 2 here. He's going to, this is the opportunity that Deepdream needs to take. He needs to start making a push. And as I say that, Cobra tries to push from the side, but he does get taken out, and finally, this is where Deepdream is going to be able to possibly get a snowball with that Booyah bomb as well, that they've thrown a bit late. They're definitely be able to get a lead here, and if they can keep this going, this can be a snowball. With that armor coming out, though, Nolan going to go down to a bomb, and cool, dude. This push might be stopped here, but still good push coming from Deepdream.
Yeah, a push to 30 is nothing bad, and they could keep this going. Silver manages to get the kill onto Sakali, and now Deepdream are 3 down, and Xerecess Racing will move back into mid. Try to build up the specials. They have the Ray, they have the bubbles, and they're about to get the armor as well. This could be big if they use their specials correctly, unless if Isabel just becomes such a disturbance for them that they can't even do anything. Just doing these crazy plays, running behind enemy lines and just getting multiple kills, and she'll want to do that again. She is flanking through mid in a fight with Xerecess, gets him weak but doesn't take him down, as Xerecess Racing are looking to take the lead.
Yeah, right now, Nolan, though, gonna get 1 pick. The last one left is that tent. They have to reach that checkpoint to get the lead. Kofi trying to scope best he can, and he is doing a pretty good job there right now, but he's actually gonna help get a pick onto Isabel, and now with a 3 situation, this is a chance for Deepdream to push out. Nolan gets 1 pick and taking out himself, and this seems like a bloodbath right now to stop this tower and maybe get big control back, but Isabel gonna go down again, and right now, Xerecess Racing is keeping that pressure up and keeps getting picks, and we might be seeing a snowball here. We're going to go down to that heavy, though, and bubbles do come out from Xerecess. We might be seeing a lead shift here, cool dude.
3v2 in favor of Xerecess Racing, and they get the lead. They get the lead by 2 points, and Silver, he has to back away, but with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, that could be the game-winning push for Xerecess Racing, and they could even continue this. They get 2 more kills onto Deepdream, and they aren't really in a good position to defend. They managed to punish Xerecess for overextending. Now Sakali just on this top left looking to get some paint down, and now Deepdream, they have to get back into mid if they want to take this lead back, but Silver doesn't want them back, doesn't want that to happen.
Silva and Xerecess right now just together putting up so much pressure onto Deepdream. You know, their Deepdream wants a chance to push back in. They think they can. Just Silva and Xerecess pop up and get the picks, and Gopher just playing the stalling game, and you just got that beacon that keeps bringing them back in. Being Jay, just although we might be seeing a lead here, Gopher's gonna try to take this sniper on Isabel. Isabel, though, gonna have to be careful. Might get taken out. Not gonna get taken out. We might be seeing a lead shift here. 10 does go down. If they can just get on that tower, and Jay is down to 27. One go down on the tower. They do get the lead just in time. Bubbles do come out from Xerecess to end that push, but with 15 seconds left, cool dude, lead taken out to 25. A miracle has to happen.
We are going to be going into overtime. This is the last push of the game. Xerecess Racing, they have to get down to 24 on that final checkpoint, and now they're looking to drop down on this right side. Both looking to get him done, but he gets taken down immediately by Nolan. The Stingray coming out from Jay gets 1, but will it be enough? Silver's just frontline on the tower. He doesn't really have his teammates to defend him, but Jay gets a very nice kill onto Sakali, and now they're on the checkpoint. No one's there for the side of Deepdream, and Xerecess Racing in overtime get the lead back.
That was insane. Just at the end there, you know, Nolan did get a pick on Kofor, but that raid from Jay ended up, you know, punishing Nolan for going for that 1 pick, and then he got the pick on Sakali right after. Just amazing play coming from Xerecess Racing there at the end. Even though they, I believe they lost lead like 2 times, they just came back and took it every single time. And, you know, you saw from those Ks, Xerecess, Silva, and Jay were just getting so many picks for Xerecess Racing. You know, always putting on pressure, always pushing it, always, you know, taking out anyone that's trying to make any cheeky plays on the side of the Deepdream. And, Cole for himself, didn't have any big KAs, but he was definitely, putting a distraction and being a nuisance, something that Deepdream had to kill. And when they were focusing on him, that's what let the rest of Xerecess Racing just come in and get the picks they needed. Deepdream right now, has won 2 in a row to take this set, and they really need to find a way to shut down this massive aggression coming from Xerecess Racing.
That game was so back and forth, and for Deepdream, it must be crushing to lose a game like that, and now you're on the back foot in this best of 5. But they have to stay composed. They have to just believe that they can take these next 2 games, because they have to win the next 2 in a row. And the first one of those being Clam Blitz Starfish. And now, I think this is another map where Xerecess Racing could definitely be very dangerous, as we've seen 2 times now. They're very good at snowballing, and this could be another map where snowballs are very deadly, so Deepdream are just going to have to get a really good defense now.
Yeah, Koford, I'm going to try to abuse this map. Honestly, it's a pretty actually square map, so 10 shields, definitely have a fun time here. And so something good for him. And on the side of Deepdream, just see a tile comp change. Nash swing to that zap. Made it be a bit faster and have more mobility to help out Isabel and Nolan. And again, just saying compliment out from Xerecess Racing. Isabel going to take this left flank. Is going to get a pick though. And Xerecess is going to fall off the map. And Isabel coming out with 2 there. And if they pick off Kofir, that is going to be a complete wipe on the side of Xerecess Racing. And already Deepdream looking to make a push. They have a power plant at the ready. They might not know Nolan getting his power plant in. Not be able to pop the actual rebound coming from Sakali, and it is gonna land, but it's gonna go down to the Charger. And cool, dude, good starting wipe coming from Deepdream, but maybe a little too hasty, and they only get down a push to 74.
74 is definitely not a push that you want, but it isn't too bad as long as you don't allow Xerecess Racing to bounce back with a push of their own with this pity climb, and they now have 2 power climbs, and Deepdream are 2 down. This is what you've got to be scared of if you're Deepdream. And now Xerecess Racing are pushing in. They get both power climbs in, and they have 6 climbs left, but I don't think they'll manage to get them in. Xerecess manages to not die to NASA, but they get taken down, and now Deepdream, not devastating of a push, but they'll have to get the lead back pretty soon if they want to win.
Yeah.
Very nice kill.
Both teams just playing so fast right now, playing very hasty pushes, going to get these clams, to get those leads. And, I think if they're getting these picks here and playing so fast, they have to set up an actual push where they can just keep, getting the picks after they score the clams and keep a push going. With 28 clams now, this is very big for Deepdream. If they can get in here, this will be huge. Isabel maybe going for a splash. He's going to get taken out by Jay, though. He's not going to let Isabel splash down. And now 3 down the side of Deepdream. That push is going to be stopped as Xerecess Racing going to maybe look to take out mid. But as I say that, though, no one can help Isabel jump in. And Deepdream still has control of mid and is going to get the pick on Jay here. Cool dude, as just so much pressure coming from Deepdream. The complete opposite of last game.
That kill onto Isabel from Jay was huge. Isabel was in a really good position to use that splashdown and maybe get 2 kills there. But as I say that, Jay's the only member left on Xerecess Racing, and Deepdream are going to be able to get the lead, and their push is continuing down to 23 already. They don't have any more clams left, but they're looking to keep this control. They get 1 more in. Jay manages to help take down 1, and the basket should close now. Nolan gets taken down. Oh, and that is a DC on the side of Xerecess Racing. I'm not sure when that was, so I don't actually think they'll be able to get a replay on that. But now, Xerecess Racing looking to get back new control with that kill on Vanessa.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that was a bit late, so we'll be able to get the replay, and they're still playing, which means it's already over now. If they keep playing, they cannot get that replay. They do get some picks here onto Deepdream, but if they're going to have to get some real big hero plays here if they want to have any chance to win this game, right now they're trying to hold mid, but all Deepdream needs to do is just get their specials together and take fights, and, they can just win a 4v3, they can win a 4v3 team fight here, as they're doing right now, getting 2 down, and going to push Jay as well, and this is really, really unfortunate for Xerecess Racing right now.
Deepdream, they pretty much only got to play defense, because you can definitely hold defense in this situation, but they'll be looking to get another push started. 2 Booyah bombs coming out, and Kofa in a very dangerous position. He may go down, the zap gets taken down, Kofa dies as well, and now it's only Jay on the side of Xerecess Racing, and Deepdream, with a little bit of help from Nintendo, take game 4 and we're going to game 5.
Yeah, just very unfortunate DC there, but you know, even then that was a really good push by Deepdream there, you know, DC or not, and made the game could have ended up differently, but now with this game 5, you know, Xerecess Racing definitely a bit, you know, annoyed about that DC, but you know, they just gotta move past it. They've been able to beat Deepdream for another 2 games, so that, you know, they could do it a 3rd time.
Yeah,
and,
I think,
you know, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I was going to say, I think mentality will be very important here, because if you get caught up on that last game, you will definitely not be able to play at peak performance in game 5, because you're just thinking, oh, we should have won that last game. But Deepdream did get a huge push off, so they were definitely in an advantageous position there. But now, the 5th map, zones on Skipper. And I think this just feeds into how these teams have been playing. Kind of like, it feels like a very aggressive gameplay that we've been seeing. And also, Tent on this map, I'm not
Very
sure
nice.
what to think about. I think it could be very good and very bad at the same time.
It's very strong for those zones. It can basically cover about half the zone. And if you play the bubbles, you can just load them into zone. And with a double bubble comp coming from Xerecess Racing, that could be really, really good here. But you know, like we were saying earlier about mentality, you know, Deepdream right now got this game with a little help of Nintendo. You know, now they got to ride that momentum. They have to win this game to move on to the next round, and you know, maybe take advantage of Xerecess Racing being a little bit annoyed. They can find out some mistakes they're doing and take advantage of those. And you know, definitely gonna be a bit tough for them, because they're gonna have to get past the double bubble comp on a map where using, you know, specials to cap zone is very, very good.
Yeah, I think on retakes, we could be seeing a lot of like 3-to-1 pushes from Deepdream, seeing 3 go bottom and then Isabel flank on the top side, as Isabel and Nolan take down Jay very early, and that, if they can snowball it, should be zone control for them immediately. Xerecess is on his own and he could get punished right now. He manages to take down Sakali, but Nolan takes him down, and now it's a 2v2 on the zone, and Xerecess Racing are actually turning it around and win that fight and take the zone and get Deepdream 2 down, and they are looking to build some specials and snowball this mid control they have now.
Yeah, and you know, looking at the 10 Cobra is playing, he is playing the Sorella 10, which is honestly one of Curling Rush's best maps here, so that is definitely a good pick, as Ace already going to go down the side of Deepdream, and they cannot get snowballed here. They got to be careful. They do get the pick on Xerecess. They do get, Heavy going to go down though on the side of Deepdream, and honestly, trading picks right now is not the play. You got to be able to stay all 4 alive to make a big push, because if you don't have all 4 alive, it's really hard to get back in here. Bomb rush just came out from Jay though. Popping that Booyah bomb, and Nolan gonna go down to the bombs right after. Another Booyah bomb coming in from Deepdream. Flank from Isabel is gonna get 1, I believe. Maybe gonna find 2. I believe got 2. Now Isabel gonna rush this 10 umbrella to get that last pick. With the help of their teammate, might be able to find it. Is not gonna find it though. 10 does go down, and Xerecess now back to pick off Isabel. And cool dude, you know, Deepdream coming back in there, being able to get zone here, but they're gonna have to do a lot more to get this lead.
Yeah, they had to throw all of their specials at the zone there to be able to get control, and it worked. But now, Nolan is pressuring Silver in that Cully, and now to a 2v1 in mids, which Deepdream win. And now they're down to 50, and they only need to get down to 27 to get the lead here. But as Xerecess Racing, they get a kill and they have 2 specials. They could take the zone here if Deepdream don't get specials in time, and they won't. Nolan is dead, and Xerecess Racing get the zone and 2 more kills. And this could be a big snowball for them. 3 down now on the side of Deepdream.
Yeah, just really good balls are coming from Xerecess Racing there, and now Deepdream again go from the back foot is gonna have to come back in, and if they want to get back in properly this time, maybe conserve some specials, just conserve players. They gotta get in using all the specials coordinated and not go down while they're doing so. As I said, they do pop double Booyah. They need to put on both sides of the zone, but Sakali are getting hard pushed. But they did cap in the zone. Kofor does go down. Another one goes down on the side of Xerecess Racing. Maybe he's going to go down to 0, but no, he's going to get 1, and with help, he's going to get 2. And big picks coming from Jay there and his teammate. And now, though Noah is able to cap zone again, Deepdream is kind of stuck in a bad position, Splatoon.
It seems that Deepdream, the way they cap the zone is they always use the specials, but Xerecess Racing use their specials to just get kills, which means Deepdream, yeah, they apply a penalty, they keep the game going, but Xerecess Racing, well, essentially always in control of this game, and because they get those kills, they have 3 specials already, 4 specials, which Deepdream will pretty much need to get 4 specials in like 20 points time to get back. Sakali uses the Booyah bomb, and they throw out the splashdown, and they have another Booyah already as well, but Xerecess takes down Isabel, and now he's in a 1v2. Deepdream manages to cap the zone, but now they will need to get the kills to be able to hold control. Xerecess stalls for a bit.
Not letting them take him alive for sure there, and now, you know, Xerecess Racing going to have to get back in here. Not too much down inside Deepdream. They are even going to pick on Cole. That is huge. If you also have Arm on at the ready here, they can keep this quick. Another pick on Xerecess. This could be a massive snowball here. Only 2 specials ready on the side of Xerecess Racing. Arm was still at the ready on the side of Deepdream. If they pop this here and keep paying, they can possibly get leader. They get the charger as well. That is no bomb rush now. This is huge. Booyah bomb now also coming out. 2 down again on side of Xerecess Racing. Cole's going to get taken out here. We might be seeing a KO for Deepdream, and just like that, Deepdream gonna take the set 3-2 and move on to the next round.
Wow. Wow. I said, like, they had to use specials to get the cap, and then because they used those specials, they didn't really have the players left. They would all die before they could snowball that cap that they got. But at the end, that is exactly what they did. They snowballed after they got the zone, and it just led to a knockout and taking them to the semi-finals. And yes. Yeah,
that was a really, really good set coming from both teams. You know, honestly, just was a really amazing set. So congratulations, Deepdream. Move on to the next round. And Xerecess Racing, unfortunate, but definitely put up a really good fight, even with that unfortunate DC. You know, definitely hoping to see them back next time in the next King of the Castle. But yeah, I think we will be taking a break to get the next rounds ready. So we will see you guys for the semifinals pretty soon.
Alright, welcome back to the second King of the Castle. We are going in to the semi-finals here with Elita MK3K versus Mictlan Heros. Mictlan Heros, who we saw on stream earlier, performing very well. And Elita, what should I even call them? Mark 3?
Just call him Mark 3. We'll call him Mark 3, yeah.
Okay, Mark 3 with Panda, Shake, someone called that face.
That is Oscar.
Oscar, okay.
And Nick.
Panda, Shake, Oscar, and Nick. Now, Nick and Panda, both players that I'm familiar with. Nick being able to he's just very consistent on a lot of different Slayer weapons like CDS and K-Shot, for example. And then Panda being on that Junior, and Mictlan Heros we saw earlier, so I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I do believe Shake is Kiwi, so we will be seeing his Bamboo as well coming into the set. And I don't quite remember what Oscar plays. I haven't seen him play in a while, but I do remember he was quite good. So this is definitely going to be a pretty close set. Coming from 4 players that have definitely proved themselves already to be pretty good, and Mictlan Heros already coming off an upset versus Cheezits gang. Now going to be maybe looking for another one against this group of really strong players.
Kiwi, someone who definitely performs very well on Bamboo, and as you said, Mictlan Heros is having a very good tournament run so far. So now we will be going into zones on Piranha Pit, game 1 of this best of 5, and we're about to see what each team chooses for their
On the side of Mark 3, we are seeing, of course, Panda on Junior at Kiwi Bamboo. We see then Nick on that VDS, and the full switch coming out from Oscar. Meanwhile, on the side of Mictlan Heros, we've kind of seen before as Slosher not the 2, and then Junior also coming out. Arm already coming out for the side of Mictlan, as already a team fight is about to happen as soon as 2 of them are taken up on that left side, maybe trying to make something happen here. Nick, though, going to get that pick onto Dafter, maybe look for another pick here onto the Nautilus. Going to be a bit weak, though, although his teammates is going to help him get that pick there. And already, Ely are going to get this first control of the game.
Nick just holding this left side, making sure that no one is able to drop down. He has the missiles as well, but he may pop soon. But now Mictlan Heros, Dafter, and Fid both dropping down. They have the armor, they're using the bomb rush. They're going to try and get back control of the zone back as the bubbles come out from the side of Mark 3 as Nick manages to get the first kill, and he looks to get the inkjet. He does get the inkjet as well as a trade, but now it looks like Mictlan Heros could get control of the zone, but Kiwi and Panda bounce right back and manage to hold on for now as they're down to 65.
Really good pick there on that Junior from Kiwi, just completely denied all the paint that was coming from that Junior, and now still just Mark 3 has so much control of their side, and is putting pressure on the other side to get that zone. Maybe loses sometimes, but they're just not letting Mictlan Heros really get in here. Booyah Bomb now, and Burst is coming out here now, getting the pick onto Nick, and maybe finally getting the first cap for them of this game. But they're not really going for zone right now, going for this pick onto the Squeezer. He does get pick on a Squeezer, but Bandit going to come in and pick him off. And now, once again, it seems like zone is going to switch to the side of Mark 3 as they do get the pick on that 52 final.
This is kind of similar to what we saw in the previous set with Xerecess Racing and Deepdream. Mictlan Heros, they used 3 specials there to get control of the zone, and they only got 1 pick with it. So they applied a penalty, but they're not really able to do much else as Cash goes down. That means Mictlan Heros won't have any armor, but they do have an inkjet, and I believe Lex has already dropped down on the left side, and Mark 3, they're just going to keep this push going as Mictlan Heros will try to push back in with this Booyah.
Yeah, they put out the Booyah Bomb. They're also going with the burst or shoot and maybe get back in. They could get the cap here if they just paint. They will have to outpaint the other side, though, as they do get a pick on Nick, which is going to be pretty huge for them to get this cap here. They have to go for some more picks, but it is going to go down and get punished there by Panda. And finally, a cap going to the side of Mictlan Heros, as it actually seems like Mark 3 is going to take it right back here with a couple of picks. Say though the Squeezer does go down inside of that 3K, as Fear going to go down as well in that zone, and just a lot of fights happening right now, a lot of deaths going on.
Kiwi gets taken down by Dafter, and even though there's a lot of kills on both sides, 3K are just holding control of this zone so far, and now Kaz just watching Oscar on this left side, trying not to get taken down, but also trying to throw bombs to apply pressure, and they should get an armor quite soon, so they will be able to push in with that. They do pop the armor. Lex gets a nice kill onto Nick, and now Mictlan Heros will get this burst rush soon. They really need to get this zone, but they just can't manage to find the kills without dying themselves. Now Lex pops a Booyah bomb, and Mictlan Heros kind of just not really able to get much started.
Yeah, every time they try to get in, you know, Mark III just kind of finds a pick on them, or is able to cap the zone off them, as they said there, just to get a pick onto after. And now they're going to be able to push right back in by getting another pick onto Lex with those missiles. And it really is just so hard for Mictlan Heros to get back in. It really seems like this double missile comp is making them move so much into the bubbles, the bamboo, and the bombs of the junior. It's just, they're kind of just forcing them to move around and not stay in one place to get their own picks.
I feel like they're using a lot of their specials one by one. You see the armor coming out there, not being comboed with anything else, as they finally get the zone and 2 kills. This is finally their chance to be able to get some points on the board with 50 seconds left. They should get Nick, they do. And now 3K being 2 down, Fear pops the Inkjet to try and get this kill on the far right side. Now pressuring Kiwi. It looks like the shot was going to hit there, but can't manage to find anything. Now Mictlan Heros in a pretty good position and maybe take the lead here, but 3K are definitely going to push in with 3 specials now.
Yeah, they do have missiles and armor at the ready. They're going to be popping those missiles and the armor. Maybe Bubbles coming out soon as well. They got to go in soon or else that lead is going to shift. Bubbles on the right side coming from Oscar is going to get a pick. Not cap zone yet. They might actually lose lead here if they do not paint the zone, but they do get 2 down on the side of Mictlan Heros, so they will be able to outpaint as they also get Fear. And that seems to be game, as Mark III is going to take the first game of this best of 5. And really close game there at the end, to be fair.
Mictlan Heros managing to just get a really big push off. I feel like Mictlan Heros from that game, at least, if they get a wipe, they are going to get a good push. It's just they only got 1 wipe. So that's why they lost that game. And I feel like also in a lot of their retake attempts, they'd usually only have 1 special at a time. So maybe if they just waited a bit longer to get 2 or 3 specials on the board, so they would just be able to push in with multiple at a time, that would allow them to get the zones and get kills at the same time, because usually that wasn't really happening for them simultaneously.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they had a lot of specials there. Like we saw, Lex coming out with 8 Booyah bombs, just showing that 52 buff was huge. But even then, those Booyah bombs wouldn't really coordinate with anything else. So like you said, it seemed like, you know, no coordination equals to, you know, a special doing something, and then, you know, Mark III just kind of, you know, painting over the special or just countering it. And then you go with another special and they just counter that. There's not enough pressure onto Mark III with just going with 1 special at a time. You gotta go, you know, with multiple specials in, you know, good combinations, you know, like Armor Booyah maybe, to try actually put pressure onto Mark III to make them back up, or to get picks on them if they don't. Because right now, we see Nick multiple times, he didn't even back up. He just kind of held his position, and if someone pushed him, or 2 people pushed him, he would go out with a trade, or maybe even 2 if he was lucky.
I feel like even if Mictlan Heros can't fix what we just mentioned, this could be a good map for them, especially with how Lex plays kind of just being that guy with like very good mechanical skill, and he can just go in and win fights that he's not supposed to win. So mid on this map, you can definitely see a lot of kills coming out from both teams, and pushes can just start from you getting 2 or 3 kills. And I think that is what Mictlan Heros will be good at, because then they'll just get specials either way, which will lead to them snowballing a bit.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to Rainmaker Manta here, so definitely, you know, one of those snowball heavy maps. So we might see a chance for Mictlan Heros to show what they can actually do once they get like those wipes and just put a massive snowball onto the enemy team. As comps not really changing for either team, not changing at all, I think. And I do believe probably Mictlan Heros might be getting the pop here, as we do have a couple more bombs.
Just the Beast Slasher changing from the Soda on the side of Mictlan Heros, and now Mark III getting an early missiles option to use it now, and now Lex using the Booyah bomb, something that they want to push in with, but the missiles deny that, and now Darth is just waiting for an opportunity to get something started. Fear, just painting on this left side, can't really drop down yet. It's not safe to, but he has the Inkjet, and now he's going to try and pick up Kiwi, and hasn't gone down yet. But Mictlan Heros, they've just grabbed the Rainmaker, and they're going to push through this right side.
They're doing the same thing they did the Cheezits. They're just, they see a window, a small window of opportunity where, the players on the side of MK were just, on the other side where they decided to push, and they just were like, okay, well, if they're on left, let's just go right. And they just went and gained it out to 34. Not as good as they did last time, but definitely a good start, but they're going to need to also defend this if they want to win this game.
Yeah, that is very good for Mictlan Heros, just the fact that they got that push, applying the pressure onto Mark III, knowing that they have to get past 33, and now Nick has gone down, and Fear is looking to take down Kiwi, but now Mark III having 3 specials, it could be very dangerous if Mictlan tries to push this, as all 3 specials have been used, but not many kills coming out yet. They managed to take down the Rainmaker, so they won't get any extra points, and now Mictlan are 3 down, it's just Fear, so they'll have to hold on to some form of control in the middle of their street if they want to have a chance to do that.
Yeah, right now, Nick trying to mark some people, maybe help his team know where to push and where people are. And right now we've seen so far Mictlan is actually getting the snowballs, and when we talk about just making these big pushes with small opportunities. But now we're gonna have to see their defense, as one of them does go down. But with this Inkjet, they will be able to get the Rainmaker, but Kiwi gonna pick off that Inkjet as well. And kind of just a stalemate in mid currently. 3K still not being able to get much of a push going, as Mictlan Heros is actually holding their ground really, really well right now, as Cheezits does get marked up.
That was very good. That's what I'd like to see more out of Mictlan Heros. They use all 3 specials with pretty close timing to each other, and that allowed them to get the kills they needed to just stall their push. But Oscar coming out with these bubbles, taking down Fear, and now Lex goes down as well. It's a 4v2 in favor of Mark III. Another kill, and now Panda with the Rainmaker should get the lead here. They almost get it, and they get the lead, and they may be able to get this push even further, as Lex is looking to take down Nick, but the Rainmaker is on the pedestal already. They get to 1, and that is a devastating push for Mictlan Heros.
That was really unfortunate. Starting with those bubbles, getting the pick on Fear. After that, 3K just saw the opportunity to just completely snowball, and give Mictlan Heros really a taste of their medicine. And getting that push all the way down to 1, Mictlan Heros now with 1 minute 44 left. They are stuck in a really, really bad spot here, and I believe actually Nick is still in the spawn of, he's still in the spawn of Mictlan Heros. He was able to get a pick and get the pop, and it's just stalling even more time, as now, 3K has control mid, has a push to 1, and only has to defend for a minute and a half. This is going to be really, really hard for Mictlan Heros.
That was a very important stall by Nick, because you see now, that just allowed Mark III to have a lot of presence in mid here. The Mictlan Heroes, they see, are there many people on the right side? Well, there are now, but the bubbles coming out from Mark III, managing to take down Lex, and Fear gets 1 kill, but he gets taken down, and Mictlan Heroes are wiped with 1 minute left. It's looking very hard for them to win this game, to need to get a knockout in 45 seconds.
Yeah, I think Oscar got hit with a triple with those bubbles, and just really good play by him. And now, once again, 3 down actually on the side of 3K, so this is actually another opportunity for Mictlan Heros to push. But if they want to push, getting a wipe is just not enough. They have to get another one, and that's puts a lot of pressure on 3K right now, and then get the picks, because if they don't, they have no chance of knocking out this game.
They need to make sure that this Rainmaker is not in a position that 1 member of Mark III can just pop out and kill them, as the Inkjet gets taken down. The Cat may get the squeezer, and there's the members of Mark III are coming right back out of spawn. They have to defend this now, and there's only 5 seconds left, and they managed to get down to 8, but that's not enough. They had to get a knockout, and Mark III, so very close, take game 2.
Just honestly, Mictlan Heros is coming so close. Has come so close in these past 2 games. It has gotta hurt. and each time it's kind of been at the end of the game, but just 3K just really outplaying them in those really important moments, like we saw in that push to get down to 1. Mictlan Heros could have defended that, but as soon as Fear was caught, kind of overextending onto those bubbles, and then Oscar got that pick. After that, it just snowballed. MK is just playing right. If we can get one of them, we can destroy their whole plan, and that's what they've been doing.
Again, with Mictlan Heros, I feel like their strength is definitely their mechanical skill. Like, they are able to get some really nice kills sometimes, but I still feel like their special coordination isn't really there, which is why Mark III have just been able to take these first 2 games. And now, Mictlan Heros, even though they're very close, they're going to have to reverse sweep now, and it's a very difficult task to give to anyone.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for a team like MK3K, it's gonna be really tough to verse with these guys. So we've just seen this whole time, Kiwi getting some really crazy picks, Pandas offering so much support for her team, then Oscar and Nick just making a lot of plays of just kind of going in and doing things, and Nick not letting up a lot of ground half the time. You see him getting rushed by people, and he's like, I'll take the 1v3, I'll take down 1 or 2 of you, I don't care, I got teammates to clean you up later. And I feel like right now Mictlan Heros has got to find a way to actually pressure, MK3K to not, be confident enough to make those plays.
Actually, Nick opting to go on the L3, not something I've seen him play before, but that would be very interesting coming up from him, maybe just throwing it on this map choices. Kiwi gets a very early kill on Select on the left side, and Mictlan Heros at 2 down. Nick is looking to take down Fear, he does, and now there's only the Junior on the side of Mictlan, and the Mark III have already gotten past the first checkpoint.
Yeah, now we see, like I said, just Mark already past first checkpoint. Right now, Oscar just getting a fake on Fear, and like I said, he is just here on the side of Mictlan Heros doing whatever he wants. He is not backing up. He's gonna keep pushing up. He's gonna keep getting picks, and Mictlan Heros has got to push him back. They got to pressure him out because he's Oscar's seeing his teammates dying, and just now he backed up. He is still going and getting picks on Mictlan Heros, and making them actually notice, hey, I'm here, and I'm gonna kill you if you don't take care of me. And let's run out this Booyah and Cool Dude. Maybe an opportunity now for Mictlan to get mid control, but so far really tough for them.
Lex looking like he wants to get bridge control here as the Inkjet does come out from Fear. Hasn't found anything yet, pressuring Kiwi and the Squeezer, but doesn't manage to get the kill. He lands back on the right side, and now Starter with this Booyah bomb is going to be looking to push into the street area. The Mictlan Heroes, they haven't found any kills yet. They do have bridge control, and now they're onto this first checkpoint that they could very well clear if Darth manages to take down this Junior, and he doesn't. And now Mictlan Heroes are 3 down. It was looking like something could start for them, but they just weren't able to manage to find the kills. But Mark III were, which just gave them this control and another chance to get a push going.
Right now, just, Mictlan Heroes kind of trying to force a push there, but if they're not, focusing on the same things to get picks together, they won't be able to get any much done. And again, 2 down, and this might be a second check being cleared here for MK3K, as now an H1v1 between Fear and Nick happening right now. Armor does get onto Nick, and Nick gonna win that 1v1 in fashion, and now this might be a KO coming for MK3K, as there really is not much Mictlan Heroes can do, and just like that, MK3K gonna take the set 3-0 and move on to Grand Finals.
Wow, yeah, a very good showing from them. The first 2 games were pretty close, but that final game just using their opportunities to push really well, and then just getting the knockout very quickly. And as we saw, just the amount of control they had just meant the Mictlan Heroes weren't really able to find any kills in that game.
Yeah, and like I said, just really, really good pressure coming out from, MK3K that whole time. They were just, they would go 1 down, but even then, Oscar and Nick just were outputting so much pressure, and in the end, they took out Mictlan Heroes. And Mictlan's, definitely made a pretty decent run in this tournament. Top 4 is not bad at all, and I believe they will still be able to play a third place match against the loser of Super Papa versus Deepdream. They still have a chance to be on the podium. But with that, me and Cool Dude will be now switching out with 2 other commentators for grand finals. So, Cool, you got anything to say before we take our leave?
Before that, we did mention it before, but in case there are new viewers here, we do have there are some tournaments happening soon. One of them being Aquatic Cup 3, a double elimination tournament happening on April 10th with counter picks for all of the modes, including Turf War, if you want to play that against some teams. So again, it will be on April 10th at 8 PM EDT, and their Twitter is at aquaticcup_SPL, where you can also find their Discord there for more information on the tournament.
And another tournament we'd like to talk about as well, it's Dangerous to Go Alone, a Splatoon 2 free agent tournament for any new players that want to, dip their toes into the competitive scene, or get any tournament experience, or any long-time FAs that maybe want to try get noticed by some teams by playing a tournament and showing off their skills. And this will be taking place on April 10th at 3 p.m. EST. Signups do close on April 7th, and the information link is shown on the screen right now. So yeah, it's Dangerous to Go Alone, April 10th, 3 p.m. EST. Definitely something you guys should check out.
Yes, as you said, there will be some new commentators on for grand finals, but where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, ips_SPL. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, mine is at CoolDude_Splat. And yeah, that will be us for today on the commentary. And there will be a quick break, and next will be grand finals, so don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome back to King of the Castle. As we move into Grand Finals, we have Super Papa versus E-Leader MK3K. I am Brushstrokes on the mic. With me is Sky.
Yeah, and so we just saw E-Leader MK3K on stream too. So this will definitely be interesting to see how this goes, because Super Papa took out a team that actually was doing really well earlier. If I recall, it was Deepdream, yeah. And clean 3-0'd them, actually.
Right. Well, we're going to move into Turf War on the Reef here to dictate our starting in the counter pick system. You want to try to explain that?
So basically, the reason why we're putting the Turf War here is because Grand Finals is based on a counterpicking system, where Game 1 is Turf War to decide which team is going to start doing the counterpicking. And the Turf War match does not count towards the score, but after that, the losing team chooses a counterpick from our map pool that can be seen in the Discord. But basically, this is how we're going to decide who's going to be picking the counter picks in this situation. And I think it's actually a really cool idea, because personally I've never played any tournament that's had counter picks before. Have you?
Sure. I have not. Though, you know, we're going to see the speed ladder here with Ludi coming up this weekend. I think most of the community will have at least a taste with it. I think something interesting to note here with the system is the Turf War game doesn't count towards the stats, if I'm correct. So what that means is that this is just going to dictate who gets the first counter pick, and after that, we go into actually counting games and counting scores. And that's why you see on this screen, you know, all of them are question marks. It's not like the first one is Turf War Reef. But it looks like all the teams are ready up here, and we're going to move into the first round.
Turf War on the Reef. So, like, Reef as a whole, Bridge is just a very, very important part of this map, and without Bridge, you kind of struggle a little bit when it comes to keeping control underneath the bridge and around the bridge on the right side and the left side.
We see a double Neo Splash coming out for, Super Papa. I think the thought process is using these bomb launchers. You see both of them coming out here to just kind of paint up. That'll be especially helpful in these last, 30 seconds as you get late game. But I think for Turf War, what you really just don't want to happen is end up getting locked out and stuck in your spawn the whole game. So I think that's why we see both these teams kind of moving around the map here and making sure they've got underneath bridge and both trees and making sure they're stopping these flanks.
Both of these teams having the right idea in mind with very, very painty comps and having just in general weapons that are very, very good for painting, but also really good to play as a whole when it comes to needing to get picks off of the opposing team. However, with Turf War as a whole, it's only really going to matter in the last 30 to 40 seconds of the game of who has the most map control. Because as we see here, E-Leader MK3K currently has the most map control at the very as I say this, and that could easily change within the last 30 seconds under any kind of circumstances, whether it be Super Papa gets a complete wipe on them or otherwise.
Sure, we saw for a second there. I mean, Super Papa was 3 down and just one Neo Splash sharking up top mid, and what we saw was, the Bombers comes out, they paint up the plat, they move up, and they get a pick, I think, on the bamboo. So, I think that's spot on, right? It's hard to really say anything's for certain until the last couple seconds, and even though it looks a little bit like here, E-Leader MK3K is kind of stuck up in their downstairs area. It looks like with the armor coming out, the painting up of bottom mid here. Oh, wow, but the Carbon gets a beautiful double. So this actually could be a decent lockout we see here in favor of Super Papa.
We see here, and we see here that the Carbon actually ledge camps but ends up going down to Panda over here on the Junior, who then goes down to the other person on Super Papa.
I mean, almost playing it like a slosher there, just trying to make sure no one is able to drop out. And you see still MK3K just still stuck up here, and with the baller, they're gonna actually have to run away, get bonked a little bit.
Yeah, we see their Nozzle Nose is trying to run away, but somebody from Super Papa actually popped a baller and chased after them. Waited until they popped theirs, and then popped their baller, and ended up taking them out.
Right, and E-Leader here is 2 down. I mean, they do get the lucky pick on the Neo Splash, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And with a lockout like that, this set is going to be very close. I mean, locking out so well for a solid 2 minutes in Turf War, stopping anyone from flanking. I think it's safe to say Super Papa here is going to take the win and get counterpicked against.
Yeah, at the end there with E-Leader, MK3K ended up getting wiped entirely too by Super Papa.
Right. Well, it's a 4-man roster, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any subs from either team. But we're going to have to wait for them to pick a map mode. I mean, I wish I could speak towards what their comps are going to look like. I'm not sure if you have any insight from the last set.
I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't really take much away from how they ran their comps last set. Or, well, like, in past sets from, like, them being on stream, I would definitely take something away from that. From what I'm aware of, Panda does play Junior, so that'll definitely be interesting to see. Because, you know...
Dedicated painter.
Very
a little
much
bit
so.
of armor spam. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll find out about these comps. But again, I do wanna stay on that topic of the lockout there, how strong it was. It looks like a pick of Splatzone's Wahoo World, and against a team with such a strong lockout, I'm not so sure how that is going to fare. I mean, we saw on the Reef just being stuck in the downstairs and stuck in car the entire time on such a large map like Wahoo. Stopping those flanks might be really, really difficult.
Yeah, stopping... It's just in general, with Wahoo, it's a bit of an interesting map. Because you have, like, that little circle area, which is called Carousel normally, which generally, Carousel as a whole is... It's really easy to flank through there, and
right.
You can have people coming up on your right and left sides if you're not careful enough or paying much attention to it.
Right. So yeah, this is certainly going to be a close set, and I hope we get to see a lockout in favor of Super Papa, was it? But you know, it's certainly going to be a close set, and on a map like Wahoo with such a small zone, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't even see too many points tick off for either of these teams. But that dedicated painter, as you said, certainly going to be a helping factor for E-Leader.
Definitely. I think something that's also going to be very, very good here is having maybe a similarly painty comp that's going to be very helpful here, especially with zones being very similar to Turf War, in the regards that you're going to want to have a lot of map control alongside you're going to want to be able to paint that zone as soon as possible.
Right. So here we go, starting Splatzone's Wahoo World. First game of this set, if you ignore the Turf War. A Slosher and a Hydra coming out for Super Papa. And there's that dedicated painter for E-Leader M3K3. The Bamboo stays. We saw that last game, this time running Respawn Punisher. So we'll see how their playstyle changes based on that. Looks like Super Papa here going for the first cap, trying to get these picks along the side, but not wanting to overextend or anything. The Slosher using its range to hit over this wall on the left side. But it looks like their Nozzle Nose ends up going down, and now it's a 3v4. Specials coming out for E-Leader MK3K, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is where we see Super Papa back up and regroup. The T-Tech ending up going down in zone along with the Squeezer.
At the beginning here, we saw that Super Papa and E-Leader MK3K were having a little bit of a struggle when it came to painting the zone, but with E-Leader MK3K getting it for just a little bit, just to get it to 91 remaining, Super Papa ended up taking it back very, very quickly here.
I mean, look how strong this E-Leader is going to... Or, sorry, E-Leader. This Hydra is going to be on lockout, holding on that wall in zone. You see him jumping there in the distance. Going to be able to stop anyone who thinks about even moving left or right. Like, they're just holding the shot here, pressuring anyone out of the top right there. And the timer's going to tick past 50 here, all the way to 40 and beyond. Specials continuing out for Super Papa, just holding on to this lockout. But now, here they go 2 down. The Squeezer trying to move in here with Bubbles. Doesn't end up getting a pick beyond the ones before, but they're able to cap 90 to 30.
I think it was a really good option there that the Squeezer there was able to get those bubbles and move up and help to cap the zone. However, it looks like it's not really going to help them very much, as it does get them from 91 to 87, but with Super Papa's lead of 31 here, like, all they have to do is hold the zone long enough and pressure them with their specials.
Right,
which,
you see.
Which they've seemed to be doing very well with coordinating their specials too.
Right, we saw there the Inkshit and Slosher just tag teaming them up in their spawn area. And it is doing work. I mean, now the Junior getting flanked here, being forced back into zone, and the Hydra just picks him off. So a really strong lockout here as the penalty points drain down. We're down to 20 ticks on the counter. CDS being pressured in the top right here, trying to get anything done, but they're not going to be able to get their missiles in time, it seems. But here they come out. They do get them, and they're going to do everything they can to hold forward here and get in the zone. 5 ticks, 3 to 3, 2 to 2, and that's going to be the game.
maybe going picking zones here maybe isn't like the greatest option for Elite MK3K, but it's definitely a good option for Super Papa. If they're able to do what they did basically during Turf War, then it's going to translate very well over into zones for them.
Right, I mean, we saw it in the turf game of all things, was this crazy strong lockout, and that speaks towards zones really well, so I wonder if the strategy there was to try to get zones out of the way quickly and try not to have it again too soon. But we're going to move into another pick here, again, for Super Papa. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some tower control here, maybe some Rainmaker, something that requires a little bit more aggression. But it looks like they've chosen Clam Blitz, of all things, on Albacore. So, again, a very large map. I think they're trying to force their aggression to be used. But against that Hydra, I don't know how it's going to fare.
I can think of a few different things that they can possibly do with this map. With Clam Blitz being such a very team-oriented mode, it's definitely going to need them to be very much so working together to the best that they can, and also using their specials to try and push in. On left grades, I can think of like one good way is that if they have that Squeezer with the bubbles again, they can use those bubbles to help shield the Clam and get the Clam in, and that's just a really good way of sneaking the Clam in for this map.
Right. Well, this is only game 2 of a best of 7, so we have time to see E-Leader MK3K get their stuff together and really show some aggression here. The Bamboo with Respawn Punisher ending up working in Super Papa's favor last game, which I was a little bit surprised to see, but I would not be surprised if we see it again, this time maybe with the Bubbles variant.
Bubbles in general is a very good special on this map that I've learned both painfully and gratefully.
Right. I mean, look, the grates are so long and they kind of act as almost as a tent shield that you can move across the grates with, but also using them to hold underneath basket area, it's so cramped in there that it can be very, very, very strong. So we're gonna see this game start and see how it goes. This game, it seems that the Bamboo stays, and this time not the Bubbles variant as we've seen, but a K Rapid Blaster for E-Leader MK3K. And otherwise, I think a very similar comp to what we saw last game, maybe the E-Leader over the Hydra.
I also noticed that on the side of Super Papa, Wawa Boy here also takes out the squeezer with bubbles. So we have double squeezer out here for both sides. There's just a squeezer on both sides. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams use their bubbles and in what ways they choose to use them.
I mean, the thing about the squeezer, especially versus something like the Forge Pro, is it allows for a much faster pop of the bubbles, and it allows for it to be played a lot more aggressively. And that's what I think Elite or MK3K is trying to use here to their advantage, is have this bamboo. We saw them on the right bridge there just trying to wreak some havoc there. They ended up having to back up. The Elite are doing a great job for Super Papa, just controlling the map and forcing people into these awkward spots. We see the bamboo here kind of stuck on left side ramp and getting pressured now by the Slosher.
We see that the squeezer on the side of Elite and MK3K and the Squelchies both go down, and we see that the Slosher gets another pick on their junior. The Waka over here on the Slosher is doing really, really good. He's gotten 2 picks so far, and he's been very close to death both times, actually.
Right, we see the squeezer here in a 1v1 with the E-Leader, ending up getting help from a teammate to finally take him out. But it looks like Super Papa here is going for a push, despite not really having as much map control as I would have liked to see in mid. And it looks like it ultimately doesn't go their way and just leaving the K-Rapid behind the play. But they might be able to turn this into momentum with a flank, though only 4 clams on the map for them. Looks like E-Leader MK3K is working to get up a push here. The ball being thrown by the bamboo before they go down to the K-Rapid from mid. And it is a 2v4, just a junior and CDS alive. But it doesn't look like Super Papa is going to be able to capitalize. Their clams ultimately dying, and they have to work for mid again.
Yeah, that push actually would have been a really good push on either MK3 case, and it's unfortunate because if their bamboo hadn't gone down, then they would have been able to make that. And ooh, the
Beautiful pick.
Very beautiful pick from the E-Leader on the side of Super Papa here.
Right, I mean, we saw the K-Rapid completely out of the play before, while E-Leader MK3K was pushing in, but again, like that bamboo going down, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything. 9 clams for the squeezer here, but that's all their team has. And now we see the junior behind the play collecting clams, not wanting anything to happen with this push, but ultimately getting outranged, and now taking the mid fight. Bamboo getting a pick on the E-Leader there, on the E-Leader, and now it's a 2v2 with another trade.
Here we see Waka trying to take them both on with his slosher abilities, and unfortunately going down to the junior, I believe it was.
Right, I mean, so much of this game has been a fight for mid control, and even though we see, wow, good job staying alive from that K-Rapid, even though we see like these fights, the K-Rapid making noise up here, it hasn't been that aggressive, though finally we see the K-Rapid getting that lucky pick, and now some points on the board with only 1:30 remaining. If E-Leader MK3K wants to stay in this game, they're going to have to respond strong. I mean, they have to really get a push going together here. And I think their specials are set up for that with the bubbles and missiles, double missiles really. But ultimately, it's not working in their favor.
Yeah, E-Leader MK3K here is unfortunately partially wiped with only their bamboo here, who's trying to make a flank from the right side of the map. To hopefully get some sort of push going into the basket on Super Papa. It doesn't look like that's gonna go too far, especially since they don't exactly have their team right there to support them.
Right, we see this K-Rapid playing super aggressive, going for these flanks, though ultimately ending up in mid with just a baller and falling into the water. And now it's a 3v3. I'm not sure how the bamboo went down, but teams doing everything they can, though. It looks like the VDS go down near their spawnish. So I wonder how much aggression Super Papa is playing here to really just hold him in this game.
We see that the E-Leader has like most of map control actually. It's just a matter if they're going to be able to find a little area here to possibly push in. It could either be using bubbles on the left side, but then they have everybody that's watching very, very intently to worry about. But it looks like Shake here is going to try and jump, and ooh.
An unfortunate play. I think the bamboo found a flank, ultimately jumping into the water there to get rid of the clams and really stall up the game. You know, it looked like at the end there was a moment where E-Leader MK3K was going to have a little bit of a push, but my guess they're going to run out of time here, and that they do right before, you know, one more push might have happened. You know, a large part of that game was a stalemate at mid, and ultimately the game being decided by a single power clam, and it's not the same game we saw in the turf war and the zones match.
Definitely not. This game mode is a lot more than just turfing and everything. You have to worry about how many clams each of your teammates has, how many clams your team overall has, how many clams the opposing team has, and map control especially, but also you need to worry about what specials you have, especially when it comes to Albacore Clam Blitz. Because if you don't have the proper specials, then it can either make or break pushing in entirely. Because like having lethal bombs that you can just kind of throw, or having like a special in general that has like something like bubbles or missiles being both great options to pop at the same time, even because missiles makes it so that the opposing team has to back off, and then bubbles gives like a little bit of a free armor to whoever is trying to get across the grates, especially when you don't have that ink to just swim through.
Sure. The set is 2-0 now in favor of I'm sorry. In favor of, help me out here. My brain's not working with me here.
In favor of Super Papa.
Thank you. In favor of Super Papa. But we're gonna move into another Splat Zones game. So E-Leader MK3K really thinking they're gonna be able to get this lockout this time on Skipper Pavilion. And honestly, for all the Splat Zones apps, this one might work in their favor. I mean, a lot of this game is in two hotspots, bot mid and top mid, trying to push in and hoping to get this distraction. But ultimately, Super Papa has been playing a very aggressive game, and I'm not sure how they're going to be able to get around that.
So zones is a very... So having zones here is definitely, like, just based on the turf match and the very first counter pick of having Wahoo zones, it feels like that this is going to definitely be in Super Papa's favor if they're going to keep up how they've been keeping up when it comes to paint.
Right. I mean, the paint control, I feel last game especially, maybe it's just because of how large of a map it was, felt very back and forth for both teams. It didn't feel like any team really had control of mid for a majority of it, but ultimately the failure there was an inability to push in. And so Splat Zones, you know, the lockout is that mid game, is that holding on to mid. And so with how contested middle was last game, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a back and forth game as well, though the way the turf war and warm up and zones game went, I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't.
Splat Zones, Skipper as a map, it's very... I tend to usually see teams go for bottom versus going for top, but in this scenario, with the zone being both part of top and bottom, it's very good to have both sides equally. And as I say that, it looks like both teams have a little bit of the same idea here, with Super Papa here taking most of the control of the map, very, very beginning game, and taking most of zone here, but going 2 down, and E-Leader MK3K is able to get the zone first thing, but Waka takes out their bamboo.
Right, I mean, you saw both teams split 2 and 2, 2 going top mid and 2 going bottom. You saw the bamboo charge of very fast missiles there, but you know, ultimately it didn't work in their favor, and E-Leader MK3K was able to walk in the zone and cap it. But now the E-Leader is still down, though Super Papa is able to cap. And the K Rapid Blaster here, just trying to hold on to mid. This game, I mean, if Super Papa can hold on to this lockout, we might be over quite soon, but I mean, with the missiles coming out, the junior going down, no armor for E-Leader MK3K, but they're still going to try to cap the zone here. That they do, the K Rapids baller not being able to contest it.
Here we see Panda is trying to get out of their spawn, with most of their teammates going down, being forced to jump back here by the Crapid. Crapid pressuring the Splash and taking them out with the help of the E-Leader. Overall, Super Papa here is just being super aggressive, keeping E-Leader here, just keeping E-Leader stuck in their base, and leaving no room for them to possibly get out, with Waka accidentally falling into the water here.
30 ticks left. This might be E-Leader MK3K's chance to come back into this game. And that they do, they cap zone and try to pressure these VDS stuck on the side, ultimately getting them. Now it's a 4v3 against this K-Rapid in zone, but they also might go down here, getting forced into a corner here against the Squeezer. And now it's a 4v2, and so we saw Super Papa doing a great job calling out the opponent's position and responding to them. We saw when they were all stuck at top mid, moving up there and defending it. But now it's E-Leader's MK3K's turn to try to do the same thing, and pressuring them top mid, keeping control. The Bomb Rush coming out from the Soda Slosher, trying not to cap, or trying to hold on to cap, but Super Papa is able to cap with the Bomb Rush. 27-44 penalties for both teams, and now it's a fight at bot mid. E-Leader MK3K going 3 down for a moment there. Just the Neo Splash alive at top mid, hoping to get a savior double, savior triple. They get 1 pick, but go down to the baller, and the K-Raptor just opts to paint zone with the rest of their duration.
Yeah, Super Papa here being able to get that zone back with the with the Bomb Rush there, that was a really good play there, and it did unfortunately lock E-Leader out, and as I say that, E-Leader is able to take down Super Papa's Crapid here and their Slosher. However, they're going to need to cap the zone now, and as I say, Commentators curse exists, guys.
You know, it's certainly not the Waku game we saw, with it just being really 2 caps the entire game. I think some of that is basically both entrances to mid being an entire flank, with mid the zone being chopped off by these walls. But you know, trying to just push back in the zone and get control is Super Papa here, while either MK is slowly ticks down on their penalty points, but the Soda Slosher is able to cap zone and keep it their direction. I think if either MK3K wants to hold on to zone, they're going to have to be getting rid of the Soda Slosher before they can get their Bomb Rush, because that's the second time we've seen the Soda Slosher come in, make a savior play, and hold on to zone for their team.
Yeah, Waka over here just kind of doing work and just keeping that zone painted as much as they possibly can, and taking them out would be the best thing for E-Leader here to do, because as soon as they take them out, they're able to take all of the zone here, and they're trying their hardest right now to keep up that ping going up to mid, like top mid, and also with bottom, but bottom's going to be good. However, they're going to need to get top to make sure that they can avoid any possible flanks from Super Papa.
We saw the Dually Sculptures there painting up and Shrine for those missiles, and that ultimately helping push back into zone, though a 3v3 here is going to allow E-Leader MK3K to hold on his own for a little bit longer. They just need like 10 more ticks to take the lead and a couple more to KO, though it looks like it's going to go back in favor of Super Papa, with 2 going down for E-Leader MK3K. The E-Leader on Super Papa's side just doing a great job controlling the map. And with 5 seconds left on the clock, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take the win here, the baller coming out and the game ending. You know, really not the same game we saw in Waku Zones.
Yeah, we actually, we got to see that E-Leader wasn't necessarily, like, they were still struggling here to continuously keep that zone, but they got a little bit more closer here because they were actually able to get in. And while they did get locked out for quite a little bit towards the beginning there, they were able to make a comeback, and unfortunately, they ran out of time to possibly take out that Crapid who was doing work all by themselves to keep that zone. In the end, it just went to Super Papa.
Right, you know, this is a 3-0 set in favor of Super Papa here, and meaning it is a match point in the best of 7. We're going to have to see a reverse sweep if E-Leader MK3K wants to take win, though, as long as with this loss, they're going to be able to get one more counter pick on their side before that ultimately does or does not happen. Super Papa doing a great job with these lockouts. You know, we've seen it from the start here. We've really seen just the great aggression, the great coordinated pushes in, and then the really excellent lockouts. So, you know, 2 zones maps and a clams pick for E-Leader MK3K as we move into Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. opting not to test Super Papa's Rainmaker or Tower Control skills until they absolutely have to. Snapper, Canal, Clam Blitz, what are your thoughts?
Snapper Clam Blitz is, well, of course, Clam Blitz is very team-oriented, so, like, there's that first problem there if you do not have any coordination, but these two teams have shown us more than enough that they can definitely coordinate, and it's more so that their pushes get shut down very easily, which is unfortunate, but with Snapper, there are a few different ways that you can push, but the one that I see the most, personally, is pushing through the opponent's street and then throwing that clam in. And then there's also the other of flanking from the left side of the map and just allowing a teammate to jump to you with the clam on that unpaintable, and then you just throw the clam at the basket.
I mean, something that's really important on this map that I think often gets overlooked is controlling your side of the map, especially around your hill area. Getting that jump into bunker is a really good spot. Controlling bunker and snipe are certainly very, very important if you want to hold in a push. But we're going to get started. The bubbles here, very strong. We saw both teams had a squeezer with bubbles for the Clam Blitz Albacore game, and it looks like just one coming out this time on the side of E-Leader MK3K. So they're going to try to use those bubbles along with the K-Machine Splashdown and main weapon to try to pressure them out of snipe. We see a very aggressive opening position for Super Papa, ultimately getting one pick, ending up going down though, unfortunately, while E-Leader MK3K just tries to keep control of their side of the map. The K-Machine putting in work here, just getting hits on everyone, and ultimately assisting that K-Shot kill.
Yeah, we see Nick here on the K-Machine. He went against Waka, who was on Slosher. After Slosher took down one of his teammates, Nick just came right in and took care of that very easily. We have Shake over here painting up on the left hill, as you stated, that some teams just don't really take advantage of or acknowledge very much. And also using their missiles to missile two people who are just coming out of spawn.
Right, it looks like they're trying to do something, taking the risky play through that rail, the risk there being, you die, you fall in the water, and you lose this power clam, but it looks like that's going to be the end of the push, but, that Albacore Clams game, a lot of that was stalemate at mid, and the game was decided by just the one ball, so I think that's something E-Leader MK3K is really trying to avoid. They want to keep the aggression, even if it just means single ball pushes and get points on the board, and then work on defense.
I think personally, I worry when you just make singular pushes like that, where you were just going to get that ball in, even if you aren't able to follow up with any extra clams to help possibly secure the lead even further than you already have it, is you're giving the opposing team a pity clam regardless. And if you're just making a simple push as that, then the opposing team's going to use that pity clam to their advantage, and as I say that, Super Papa here gets 2 power clams and a few extra clams, getting it to remaining at 57-54, going down to 51.
Right,
and Nick here is trying to clean their street.
There was a near wipe there in favor of Super Papa while they were by their goal with about 30 clams. I mean, the map was so painted purple, I wasn't sure whose side of the map we were looking at. But now it's a 2-2 on trying to break out here for E-Leader MK3K. But the junior here on their side, their opponent's hill, where that bunker jump is, trying to get some paint back down, they opt to back up and play a little more defensively.
Here we see a play from Wawa Boy where he made a jump that I've actually never seen that before. But making that jump and then also getting a flank in and taking down the bamboo, I believe it was.
Right, I mean, beautiful movement there from Super Papa to push in here and take control. Getting a cancel on the K-Machine Splashdown. E-Leader MK3K goes 3 down, though Super Papa isn't really able to get clams together fast enough, and ultimately is forced to retreat. No, they don't. They get a push through bunker, get a ball in, The K-Shot ready to continue this push from left side with 5 clams, though the counter's taking, there they go, there the clams start to go in. Kill's going down on the right side on Hill there. Super Papa trying to lock out here, though they're going to have to get some more clams if they want to be able to score more points. And that they do, they get 3 more on the board, getting the counter down to 28 to 80. 1 minute 30 remaining on the clock. You know, this is a round where we saw that ball go in for Clam Blitz Albacore, but the counter is still going. Super Papa putting all the clams together that they can. A 1 clam game, literally 1 point. It's 1 clam to get the win, but it looks like they're really not going to be able to get it this time, or maybe not. No. Okay, there you see it. So a really excellent push. They're getting from 80 down to 1 clam, but it's a 1v1. The K-Shot here just making noise on street, trying to get some more picks there, though they end up going down. With 50 seconds remaining on the clock, either MK3K is going to have to KO here no matter what if they want to stay in this game, if they want to stay in this tournament.
So that was amazing, actually. They could have definitely KO'd there if their K-Shot had been a little bit quicker about getting to the rail and just throwing that clam in, and that would have ended the game entirely. But here we're just seeing that Super Papa is having a bit of a hard time keeping themselves around and just keeping out of their base, getting out of their base, and Nick not having a power clam, trying to get closer to that basket while his teammates have power clams.
I mean, that push kind of or kind of disintegrated on them there. It looked like for a second there they had 2 balls and another 8 clams ready to push in. But now they're going to move into OT, and they have to get this clam in. They have to be able to score this if they want to stay in the tournament, though. Clam Blitz overtime is notoriously slow. It does look like they're going to get the ball in, but they only have 1 clam, and Super Papa has plenty of control on the map. The junior ending up getting a pick. Either MK3K going 2 down, 3 down, and that's going to be the game with the timer counting.
They did get that power clam in, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough for them.
Right. I mean, for a large part of that game, it felt very similar to what we saw in Albacore, which was just a stalemate at mid in a 1 clam game. But ultimately, Super Papa able to walk in, score sort of their power clam, and keep the push alive for long enough to count it all the way down to 1. That's 4-0.
Yeah, it was unfortunate here that E-Leader MK3K wasn't able to get any games off, but we could see just from the games that they did play that they were a very strong team, and if they had been a tad bit more lucky on that last match, possibly. Or
right,
just mainly the zones matches, too.
Right, I mean, it was a first seed versus a second seed tournament-wide, Super Papa being that first seed. So, I feel like for honestly, for the majority of each games, they were super close, though Super Papa with their beautiful lockout in that initial zones match, setting the tone for most of these games and proving that they were going to be the better team and they were going to be the ones to take home the gold.
Both of these teams played very, very well today, and it ends up being that Super Papa here is gonna take the entire set and essentially taking the tournament here.
Right. Before we wrap up for the day, you know what I think it would be very important that we do? I think it's time that we talk about Aquatic Cup 3. This month, Aquatic Cup is back with their 3rd tournament. Come on over for double elimination fun with counter picks for all modes, including Turf War on April 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you have comments, questions, concerned, anything, join their Discord server over at discord.io/aquaticcup. The link should be in chat soon enough.
Another tournament that is going to be happening just in signups close just about a week from now. Basically, this tournament is called It's Dangerous to Go Alone. If you are a free agent or just in general don't have a team or anybody to really play with, but you're looking to dip your toes into the competitive scene or just get some tournament experience as a whole, or meet new people, get your name out there and make some new friends, just recruit people, etc., vice versa. If you'd like to come and play in a different tournament, then Off the Dial is here for you, and you can sign up. But registration close is on April 7th, and the tournament will start on April 10th. More info can be found at otd.ing/IDTGA.
Right, some super close sets from these two teams, but I think that's all we're going to have time for today. Super Papa taking home the gold in a 4-0 grand final. Sky, where can people find you?
You can find me at Sky the Demon on Twitch and Twitter, and where can they find you, Brushstroke?
You can find me at Brushstrokes WP on Twitch and Twitter and some of the other socials. I was King of the Castle. You can see our socials there in chat. I hope you all enjoyed. Minnow Cup is currently seeding Top Cut, and I think we're gonna raid them. So Minnow Cup is a tournament by Deep Sea Solutions, geared to the lower level community, so be ready for some bracket stuff there. Do you have anything else you would like to add, Sky?
If you're available tonight, then feel free to also check out Reef Rushdown at 10 p.m. Eastern. And that's all I have.
Right, alrighty. King of the Castle, Super Papa taking the gold. We will see you soon.